Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, it's the Greek. What do guys do when they get together? Maybe they're hanging out, playing golf, talking about their favorite team, talking about their family, their kids, their favorite pet, their hobbies. Or maybe they're talking about just having a cigar. Well, in fact, most men talk about those topics, but there are a few things men should really talk about. Much more intimate issues, performance anxiety, and disappointing their partner. I know it's not easy to talk about, but there's a place to go where they'll be happy to listen. Simply Men's Health. The number is 561-459-5356. That's 561-459-5356. They offer a wide range of wellness and med spa services for an anti-aging to male sexual health. They'll get you back to your youth and make you feel young again. Right now, you can get one of their free ED treatments from Simply Men's Health when you call 561-459-5356. That's 561-459-5356. They can make you feel young again and make you a rock star you were when you were young. Peace.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations, like 24/7 comedy.
They were really donut holes. The bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon & Partners Weather Center. Have you been injured in a motor vehicle accident? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. A beautiful day ahead of us following that rain overnight and last night. We have temperatures that will rise into the low 70s. Some areas might not even get there, stopping in the upper 60s for highs. And then overnight tonight will be nice and cool, waking up to temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, unseasonably cool for this time of year.
This report is sponsored by NexGard Plus. NexGard Plus, Afoxalon or Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets, is the one you want for your dog's monthly protection. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Ask your veterinarian about NexGard Plus Chews today.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Rail Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Good morning, sunshine.
What a glorious day!
You know what today is?
Please, enlighten me.
Enlighten me. Today's the first day of spring.
First day of spring.
First day of spring.
It's the first day of spring, the spring equinox.
Otherwise known as
Allergy season.
Allergy season.
Allergy season.
This is pollen season. On this day, the first day of spring.
It's showtime.
Redefining radio. This is where the fun begins. Introducing Greek.
Let me tell you something. Don't ever love more you than anybody else you love more.
Francis.
Because then you're just like, you're squeezing your banana so hard every time you come in here, and then you're pounding it on the desk.
Jimmy.
We haven't had to pull it for quite a while, so we got to lube it up.
Let's get the party started. It's the Penthouse on Real Radio.
I mean, I can handle this, Franny, if you're struggling over there. I mean, you're a mess.
It is a mess. Hi, what's going on? Good morning to you on a Tuesday here in the Penthouse. Oh, man. I'm not the same kind of mess I was yesterday. Today is a little bit different of a mess.
First day in the job. Starting to like it.
Oh, my goodness. What is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on that FM dial or the absolutely free iHeart Radio app. We welcome you into the Penthouse. Better late than never, as I say. This is Franny. Good morning to you, Jimmy.
Hello and good morning, Miss Francis, Mr. Jason.
Hey.
Always a pleasure to be here with you.
Yes, and we do not have Greek with us for the week. He is on a very well-deserved vacation, but I think we have a pretty decent replacement, a filler, we'll call him. We got Jason in the house.
Our douchey operations manager said it was okay for me to come back for the second day in a row.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yep, if you are not familiar with Jason, well, he's on the Gator in the mornings, Jason and Franny in the mornings on 98.7 The Gator, and he is a familiar voice and face with Real Radio for a very long time.
Happy to be back.
Yes, and we always want you to be part of the Penthouse,
Are you
Real
okay
Radio.
over there?
I'm
What is
not
going
okay.
on?
I just want people to see my face, and they can't.
Are we supposed? The whole video thing,
Yeah,
right?
Real
Do you need me to
TV.
do that over here too?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
We'll set you up too.
Get some real eye candy in here.
Yes.
Yes, big boy.
Oh my goodness, you sound like Greek, Jesus. So you could be
I am
that.
filling a role, right?
Might as well. I do it all day.
That is a terrible G-man, but you could be a fourth member of the Penthouse. We have so many ways you can do that.
I hope he's enjoying his time off.
Me too. That toll-free number is 877-927-6969. You can also leave us a talk back. We love that feature on the iHeartRadio app. Just search for Real Radio 921. Click on that microphone and leave us a voicemail. And if it's worthy enough, we'll play it on air. Of course, you can email Jimmy at realradio921.com. or send us a text 47142. Started off with Real Radio. So yes, yesterday, the reason why we were a little bit late was my fault. This time is because we had a special guest here.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
So the Renaissance Festival has been going on.
Yes.
And
we both went over the weekend.
We did.
Jimmy, you went a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I went on, actually, it's March 3rd, and I made sure to ask because I didn't see him there, but we'll get into who him is in a minute
here. Yes, of course. So they were going on. This is the last weekend. They do 2 months worth.
Yep.
So they're here for some time. So this is going to be the last weekend. And last year we got the treat of having Jack the Whipper come in, and he decided to grace us once again with his presence. And he brought a buddy with him.
Yes.
His buddy is Sess, who throws knives and eats fire and does all those kind of things with his wife.
Yeah, amateur.
So we had him here at iHeart, and we shot some fun videos. So we will have that for you. Just make sure you follow us on our socials at Real Radio 921. And you can follow us at Gator 987 as well, too, because that's where it'll be posted.
Absolutely. And what a fun time. These guys they have the patience of saints, by the way, dealing with us.
Put up with our nonsense.
A bunch of immature, grown-ass children that we are.
Yep.
And, I had a good time. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking about Sess, who's the fire breather. He's the knife chucker and all that other stuff. And I'm thinking, I watched these guys, 'cause I went over the weekend and I saw some of these shows. And I'm watching them eat the fire. And I'm like, man, I feel bad for that dude's wife.
Why is that?
Like, she's got to kiss that guy, and his mouth tastes like kerosene all the time.
True.
I would assume it does, unless it just burns off immediately.
Maybe.
But, like, Does he have any taste buds?
I don't know.
These are questions that I want to know answers to.
I've never had the urge to eat fire. I have a girlfriend, and she does the flare bartending. She's so good.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
she will. She breathes it.
Right.
But you still got to have that. But she puts like Grand Marnier in her mouth.
Sure, and just what happens is you're turning the alcohol into vapor because you're spitting it out so fast. So that's why it ends up going into the flame and everything. But that's not going like he's not going down the throat or anything like that. I'm trying to use safe terminology here. But like they're going.
Actually, what you're trying to do is have a fairly serious conversation with me on the other side of the glass, where
Exactly.
Anything in the mouth, down the throat, it's all going to be immature jokes on my behalf. But I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine how they can do that without burning themselves.
It's an impressive feat. I'm sure they line their oral cavity.
Yes.
With something that's like maybe a non-flammable gel or something like that. I don't know, but I mean, it's impressive nonetheless. I have a lot of respect for these guys.
Probably a secret that we wouldn't be able to learn either.
Right.
Oh, I'm sure if we asked
you think
Seth,
so?
he would
Well,
let us know.
maybe you can.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. I told you I went to the circus on Friday, and there was a hula hooper, and you're like, oh, hula hooper, but she was incredible. Like a million hula hoops at one time, dangling from the air, lighting them on fire, and I now want to be her. So I have ordered a bunch of hula hoops, and
nice.
Maybe one day I'll light them on fire, and I'll show you guys how that goes.
And going back to Renfest too, and like Franny said too, last weekend, this coming weekend too. So get your tickets and go.
Ren-fest.com. By the way.
Did either of you see the angel that does the dancing with the rings, sort of in the middle area there? I know that doesn't mean much to the audience, but she does an incredible show. It's like watching somebody on rings in like the Olympics.
Really?
The rings that they do.
Interesting.
It's that type of a thing that she does, but with these giant angel wings, and she's all dressed up as an angel. Absolutely wonderful show that you can see there at Renfest, as well as, of course, my favorite, the Washing Wenches.
The Washing Wenches are fantastic.
And of course, Jack the Z Whipper is going to be there as well. Unfortunately, he wasn't there the weekend that I was there.
Oh, okay. I got to see him.
That's why we didn't see him, and because I was looking for him. I knew we had him in here last year. Same thing where we shot some videos, and it's always fun to have them in studio to chat and have fun with. But
and not for nothing, now that this cool front has rolled through, the weather is much nicer than it was this past weekend. Not nearly as hot.
It was brutal.
It will be about a weekend now. I think this is only like one day or so.
Yep.
70s I read for this weekend. I could be
Was
wrong
it really?
there.
All right, let me.
I know the 70s kicked off today, but speaking of shows, 11:45, we still have that giveaway, and we have a pair of one-day passes to the Tortuga Music Festival. That is right around the corner, running April 5th through the 7th, downtown Fort Lauderdale. Jason Aldean, Lainey Wilson, Boys to Men, Brett Michaels, just to name a few that are going to be there. So make sure that you heard. So make sure you're tuned in. We'll be doing He Said, She Said, probably the easiest route to go.
Yep, absolutely. We can do that.
At 11:45, but it is business as usual. We'll try to keep on pace with what we do, and normally around 11 o'clock, we have some Florida stories coming your way. Here's what the Florida.
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 Did you say
Florida?
I'm from Florida.
WTF.
What the Florida?
So this is a story that I've been sitting on for a while. I know Jason and I talked about it. It happened last week, but it's been all over the news earlier this week about, they're not saying that it was a snake orgy, but I'm pretty sure it was a snake orgy.
Nice. What? Wow.
They're calling it,
Here's a surprise. You just piqued my interest.
It was just a big pile of snakes. In fact, 500 pounds worth of snakes that were found in a marsh. There was a team of trackers that were looking for the invasive Burmese pythons, and they did. They found more than they had bargained for when they stumbled upon a 500-pound pile of snakes. The discovery did occur late last month in Naples, where the team found the 7-foot-wide mound of tangled pythons. Like, why else are they tangled up? You know what they're doing.
Is there a video like that on Pornhub?
I'll show you later.
Actually,
I got it in my favorites.
Yeah, it's actually named Tangled Pythons. They say that all 11 snakes, as they do, were euthanized because they're invasive.
Good.
Yes. They've been doing this for 10 years where they've been catching and putting them down humanely. We even know that they have the competition that they do once a year, too, to see who can bag the most and bag the biggest. They said you can't put them in zoos and send them back to Southeast Asia. It's just not a thing. These invasive species management doesn't end with rainbows and kittens, unfortunately, for these pythons, which can grow up to almost 20 feet long. That's absolutely insane. I guess they've been around since the 70s. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with people getting pets and then not
course.
wanting to take care of them and
like-
releasing, just go put it out in the Everglades. It'll be fine.
What
yeah.
usually happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
when
Same
we
thing
get
with
in-
iguanas.
Yep.
Same thing with the the spiny fish.
a lionfish.
Lionfish, thank
Yep,
you. Which
yep.
tastes fantastic, by the way.
They do, but you got to be careful, right? Those spines are poisonous, aren't
You got to
they?
fillet it just right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might be having a quick trip to the hospital.
And then another hunting incident, but this one did not turn out well for one man. He is now fighting for his life. This is a little Dick Cheney action. Wasn't it Dick Cheney, right, that shot somebody while he was hunting?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, our former VP.
Buckshot to the face.
Oh, my
Right.
goodness. And this what happened to this guy. So he was shot by a Florida hunter who mistook him for a turkey. Now, how?
Pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, the incident happened Sunday morning when the unidentified hunter told investigators that he saw 3 female turkeys on the road and was like, I'm going to follow those turkeys. The birds led him to what he thought was a male turkey. So I guess males are the ones that you want. You don't want the females? Because if he's following them, trying to search for the male, right? So, and that's when he said he fired. Well, when he fired his gun, he heard someone scream, I haven't shot. No, the guy goes, I haven't shot. Turkeys don't talk.
Oh.
Yes. The victim was airlifted to the Daytona Beach Hospital with shotgun injuries to his head and torso.
Wow.
How many times does the guy shoot a gun? Yep. Do you think this was an accident?
On purpose,
I
maybe?
don't know. I don't know. And then April. It's pretty
Which one's better?
It's just pretty good.
I think the turkey's
It's
better.
pretty good.
Live or is it Jason?
No. We always give away prizes the week of Thanksgiving for the best turkey call.
Yeah.
And you would put some of these people to shame, Jason.
I learned from the
All
best.
You
Thank
really
you, Dr.
would.
Glenn.
You really
right.
would. And then a Florida woman is under arrest after 3 kids in her care consumed milkshakes tainted with THC-laced gummy candies.
Nice.
So the sheriff's office says it responded to the medical center in the Keys where the 7, 8, and 9-year-olds were recovering. Not that
a
nice.
little too young
Little
there,
too
yeah.
young. The
Not
kids,
good.
So they were able to, the drugs are just hanging out. And I know you guys know. I know you don't consume, but they make these candies look legit. Even the packaging looks like real candy. And so the kids wanted to make unicorn milkshakes. Yep. And so they dumped a bunch of gummy bears in their milkshake. The 34-year-old admitted to having the drugs unsecured, and now she has remained behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that is your first dose of What the Florida. Now, Jimmy, I know that we have a couple of things on here, and we talk about it quite often, these topics that come up that make us feel old.
Yeah, things that make you feel old. And, here are some things that are turning 50 years old this year. And some will bring us back to our childhood, or at least my childhood, I can say. And maybe it will on yours too, but it just makes you feel old. Post-it notes. A guy accidentally invented a weak glue in 1968, but didn't know what to do with it. 6 years later, another guy wanted a way to bookmark pages in his hymnal book at church, and Post-it notes at that point were born.
And they're stuck all over my desk.
50 years old.
They are.
And how do we use them now? How about this one? And people are still breaking records with this. The Rubik's Cube, invented in 1974 by a Hungarian guy named Erno Rubik. And he originally called them magic cubes. You see some of these guys can undo it in
While they're juggling.
It's 7 seconds or
Insane.
something like that. It's just
But have you seen
stupid.
it where they're juggling 3 of them and they're solving them? I don't understand.
And it's juggling in and of itself
Yes,
is hard.
yeah.
But while they're juggling, they're using their fingers and flipping these things around. And that is
and not watching
impressive.
it. I don't understand. I have never in my life, of my almost 42 years of living, I have never solved one.
You know the trick, right?
No.
You just peel the stickers off and move them around.
I do know that trick, yeah.
We have done that one. Have you accomplished anything with it? Because I can do one side. That's
Yeah,
it. That's all I
I've
could ever get
accomplished
was
some.
one side.
Mhm,
You
but
ever
I've-
do multiple?
I don't know.
Do we have one around here?
We need to figure this out.
I don't think I've ever actually tried to solve a Rubik's
Yeah.
Cube.
Oh,
now that you
really?
say, yeah.
Oh, no.
I
Oh, okay. All right.
suck at it.
Well, they're 50 years old this year.
Wow.
How about the next? Do you have any in front of you, Franny? Did you want to go down the list with me, or I didn't know if you had it too? Because barcodes is another one on this list. Some dude in Jersey, probably named his name was Joe Woodland. I thought maybe it was Tony. He came up with the idea and drew it in the sand while vacationing right here in Florida. The first barcode was scanned on June 26th, 1974, and then completely revolutionized shopping. I had no idea that they went back that far.
He drew it in the sand and was like, "This is what we need to put on products."
You know, I just watched something on this like a week or so ago in passing while cleaning the house. And they were talking about how the big three grocers, I think at the time it was like Kroger and Wegmans, and I can't remember the third
Piggly
one.
Wiggly?
Might have been Piggly. I don't know. It wasn't Publix at the time.
Yeah.
I know that.
Ace was a big one, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Or Aim?
Ames.
I think I had Ames when I was growing up.
Regardless, these three competitive grocery store chains actually got together because they realized that they were losing profits and losing money because they did not know how to expedite the checkout process.
Right.
And they were cycling people through to figure out what their ideas were, what their concepts were to try to expedite things. And this guy that, while you said vacationing in Florida, came up with the barcode in the sand. He said, well, and then he presented it to those groceries, and that's why we have checkouts the way that we do now.
Yeah, the interesting part about that too, with at least with my experience too, is both my brother and my father were in the grocery business for almost all of their lives.
Sure.
Right, as far as their careers were concerned. And I mean, when one of the first things you do when working in the grocery section is you got the stamper and you put the prices on everything, right? So that was all in the 80s and 90s that I remember that, and was still a thing, right? And they would still stamp the price on there, yet the barcodes were all the way back to 1974.
Crazy.
Yeah, very true.
You
My
know?
mom owned a market too in Atlanta. She owned a Puerto Rican market, shocker. And in the back, she had a little restaurant. But the same thing, I would go there as a kiddo, and that was my job, was to put the price on everything.
Remember those stamp guns that used to sit and you'd punch down on it too? It had like a plunger type of a look to it.
I don't know if I know
and
that.
One side had an ink pad on it. The other side had the price. You would change the price. You could change the numbers, whatever. And then as you punched it down, it would hit the ink and then boom, and then onto whatever product you were doing.
This will date me. I had to use that at Eckerd Drugs.
There you go.
You guys remember Eckerd Drugs?
Yeah, I remember Eckerd's.
Yep.
Yep.
Who took that over? Was that Walgreens?
CVS.
CVS was?
Yeah, I worked there when I was a teenager, and CVS bought it out.
Number 4 on this list, if you want to feel old, here it is. Turning 50 years old this year, Bailey's Irish Cream.
Nice.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
Which is what,
I don't want to hear about it.
Which is what put Franny in the situation she was in yesterday.
Really? Oh, it was Bailey's.
Well,
that's right.
Those are the Irish car bombs.
Irish car bombs.
Yeah, my husband sent me a bunch of pictures from Sunday, and I always have one in my hand for some reason.
Cream-based liquors are very common now, and I tell you what, I've really gotten into them lately too. Now they call them moonshines, right? Some of those with different flavors that you can see at the liquor stores.
But cream? Huh?
They call it. They're like a cream sip or a sipping cream type thing, but some of them call themselves moonshine, but they're not really moonshine. But anyway, they're very popular now. But this first one, Bailey's, debuted in 1974. Here's something that's kind of strange: the Heimlich maneuver. Dr. Henry Heimlich described it in an article in 1974. It started as a theory, and it turned out that it worked really well. Before that, the advice was to smack a choking person on the back over and over again, but we know that can actually make it worse.
Yeah.
Now.
Have you guys, because I lived alone for a bit, as I'm sure you guys have before too. And I don't know if Jason knows this. I told Jimmy and Greek that I have a fear of choking. And I think a lot of people do. But it was when I was a kid, and I still eat, but I would eat so fast. Like so fast to where I wouldn't chew
like you're in prison or
like
something.
I wouldn't chew my food properly. Yeah, I would eat my food and I look at my sister and be like, you gonna eat that?
That's is that common for younger? Because I did the same when I was a kid too.
I remember getting yelled at from my folks saying, chew your food, chew your food. And then that's now,
I was a monster. I mean, I would eat everybody's food. And so I've taught myself, because I had an instance as a kid where I took a piece of a steak and it was very big and I would start choking on it. So I've made myself bring it back up, regurgitate it. So
It's-
I've taught myself how to regurgitate food.
Okay.
So I don't choke.
I thought you were about to say something else.
But then I also taught myself how to give myself the Heimlich on a chair, because when I lived alone, I was like, I need to be prepared for any kind of situation that involves choking.
You're ridiculous. You do realize that. All you have to do is chew your food.
On big chunks of meat.
I know.
The trick is you find the corner of a countertop or something like that, and you just kind of center it at your solar plex right there at the V beneath your rib cage, and just kind of like
And that's what I was doing
ram
with
it in
chairs.
there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know.
Ramming it.
Yep. I have a lot of irrational fears, but that's one of them.
Chewing your food helps a lot, I promise.
I know. I chew now.
Now,
I get it.
you were a nerd when you were a kid and still are. Did you play Dungeons and Dragons?
I never played D&D. I was a Marvel Comics guy, X-Men all the way, which I'm getting super excited because they're bringing back X-Men 97.
Are they really?
Oh yeah. So
no
there was
kidding.
a cartoon series that I used to watch when I was a kid. And it was every Saturday morning. It was the X-Men animated series, and they ended it in 97. And all of a sudden, Disney Plus says, hey, we're going to revitalize that, pick up right where they left off. Same characters, same voices, everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I think it starts this week or next week. Yeah.
All right.
So, no, but I was not Dungeons & Dragons.
I'll have to look for that because I would be interested in that. How about you, Franny? Did you do the old D&D?
No, I was too cool for that.
Believe it or not, I
not
didn't.
too cool to chew your food, though.
I didn't as a kid, but as an adult, I did. We started playing it. I don't know, a couple of years ago, we played a game or two of it.
All right.
The movie series looks great too. I mean, they have a bunch of movies that have gone out. They look pretty good.
Well, the first episode, or the first people to own a copy, got their hands on it in early of 1974, Dungeons and Dragons. I know we got a giant one in the prize closet back there. Connect Fours also got a birthday this year. A guy named Howard Wexler wanted to create a board game that was played vertically. Milton Bradley ran with it and started selling it in February of 1974. Another thing that was born in 1974 were the Rainbows, Skittles. They were invented in the United Kingdom in 1974, but didn't hit shelves in the U.S. until 1979.
Loved them.
I didn't know they were British.
Loved Skittles.
Apparently so, yep.
Love. And that same thing, I would just turn them into one big blob of Skittle, just all of it.
You are a whack job.
The whole bag.
Their chocolate cousin M&Ms are a lot older. The first M&Ms hit stores in 1941.
You guys remember when they brought the blue M&M and how such a big deal that was?
Yeah.
Because the marketing campaign was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're adding blue to the M&Ms.
Well, they started, and again, I'll show my age. It started with the green.
Right.
Because green was the special one outside of the brown and orange and yellow.
And
right?
it got you horny if you ate them. Word on the street.
It's all a
And
farce.
then when
It
it
is.
finally came out with the characters, the green one was the female. And,
Right.
well, she was pretty hot. So, do you see those boots?
Great legs.
See those boots?
Great legs.
Damn right.
But yeah, we do have
Little
some more.
flat-chested, but
We do have some more things on the list. But of course, we have a trifecta coming your way. Jimmy will handle that. Plus this day in history. And remember, 11:45, we're going to be giving away those tickets to Tortuga Music Festival when we get back on Real Radio 92.1.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
I don't know that anybody watches a Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix and like, I'm going to eat a dude today. Damn it. Don't use that against me, please. I don't know.
I mean, it's too late.
The news junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Here's traffic on Real Radio.
Accidents I-95 southbound approaching Lantana Road, I-95 southbound approaching Woolbright Road. Both crashes are off on the shoulder. Spot something on the roads? Call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm Traffic. I'm Ron Hurst.
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
This week on Red Pilled America, we uncover the secret cartel that blocks conservative movies from ever being made. We also hear from the late Andrew Breitbart on how to break their monopoly. Listen to Red Pilled America wherever you get podcasts. That's Red Pilled America.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life.
That's why over 100,000 Floridians have made StormSmart a part of theirs. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows are designed to help protect your home from hurricane, winds, rain, and airborne debris. In fact, StormSmart can protect every opening in your home. If you live in Florida, extreme weather is a part of life. But for year-round storm protection, you can count on StormSmart. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
Hey there, car owners. It's Franny. Head over to GiveMeTheVin.com for an instant cash offer in just 60 seconds. They buy all makes and models from $2,000 to $200,000. And if they can't beat your CarMax offer, they'll throw in an extra $100. They offer a 60-second bid process, pressure-free service, and free pickup. With a 5-star rating from the Better Business Bureau, they've got your back. Don't wait. Now's the time to sell with GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life. In office, West Palm Beach.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way, for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey, it's the Greek. What do guys do when they get together? Maybe they're hanging out, playing golf, talking about their favorite team, talking about their family, their kids, but there are a few things men should really talk about, much more intimate issues. I know it's not easy to talk about, but there's a place to go where they'll be happy to listen. Simply Men's Health. Right now, you can get one of their free ED treatments from Simply Men's Health when you call 561-459-5356. Simply Men's Health. They can make you feel young again and make you a rock star you were when you were young. Peace.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free. explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
For more information about contests on the station, visit realradio921.com/rules.
Car accident? Visit smithball.com to learn more about our past huge results and how we can help.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
When you think of the first 4 play-in games of March Madness, we normally think of non-threatening teams. But ever since the tournament expanded, that hasn't been the case. Back in 2011, 11th-seeded VCU made a miracle run to the Final Four. Syracuse, LaSalle, and Tennessee, they made it to the Sweet 16 as double-digit seeds. That just goes to show you that this time of the year, just about anything can happen. I'm Dan Patrick.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
The Lombardi may have been lifted, but that doesn't mean there's no football to talk about. It's the offseason, and there's no better way to stay up to date with the latest from our league than with the Around the NFL podcast for news and fresh content all offseason long. From the start of free agency, where we'll break down familiar faces headed to new places, to the next generation of superstars walking across that stage at the NFL Draft. Listen to the Around the NFL podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Heed the call.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G Business.
Greek Trifecta is sponsored by Jason Weiser, attorney at law.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast. Listening to the Penthouse. Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning into the Penthouse on Real Radio. This is Franny. Normally you would have Greek in the host chair, but he has taken some time off. But I've got 2 solid dudes helping me out. Of course, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello and good morning.
And we have Jason in the house.
Happy first day of spring.
It is. It is the spring equinox today, correct?
Yes, it is.
I get confused sometimes because I thought it was like the 20th or 21st. Does it matter? Like, does it change?
I just know that winter is always on the 21st of December.
Maybe that's what I am thinking of. But yes, we do not have Greek in the house, but we still got trifectas going on all week, and Jimmy is going to be handling it.
Riders up. It's Greek Trifecta.
Well, in NFL free agency news, the Miami Dolphins signed cornerback Kendall Fuller after Miami saw several defensive starters leave via free agency and or being released during this past month. It left a big hole in that position. It filled a glaring one, and quarterback, they signed Fuller to a 2-year deal 2 days after adding safety Jordan Poyer. Miami has quietly put together a series of low-cost signings during the first week of free agency, all while looking out to get under the salary cap. Fuller, who won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs alongside current Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill, is the jewel of the class so far. Go Dolphins. There you go. Speaking of Florida sports, we got the Florida Panthers. They're having another outstanding season so far. Mm-hmm. They currently sit 1 point behind Boston and are poised to make another strong playoff run. Next up, they take on the Nashville Predators Thursday night at Amerant Bank Arena. Finally, math matters, and if you don't think so, just ask the San Francisco 49ers. They just got hit with a draft penalty over an accounting error. The Niners have to give up their original 5th-round choice in 2025, and their 2024 4th-round selection is going to move from 131st to 135th. Why? Well, apparently they didn't report all the salaries properly to the NFL, and because of that, it messed up their drafts. However, the NFL determined that the club would remain under the salary cap the whole time, so they didn't really gain an advantage. So that's why the penalty isn't real too severe. Okay. They're just losing one, kind of a late round draft next year, and they moved up 4 positions in this year's draft. So not too bad in their 4th round one anyway. So, and that is your Greek week's trifecta. And now let's see what happened on this day in history. And we're not going to go back too far. We're going to start in the year 1918, and that's when Woodrow Wilson, now we were just talking about this because, of course, we just changed our clocks. Well, he signed the Standard Time Act, which established daylight savings time, so you can blame him. 93 years ago today, in 1931, Nevada legalized gambling. We're going to fast forward to 1991. That was 33 years ago. NFL owners stripped Phoenix of their 1993 Super Bowl game due to Arizona not recognizing federal holiday Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I don't remember that at all. 29 years ago today, in 1995, Michael Jordan made his first NBA comeback and rejoined the Chicago Bulls after leaving basketball for over a year to become a mediocre baseball player. I didn't write that, they did. He wore his junior high school number 45 because the Bulls officially retired his old number 23 from the first time that he retired from the game. Also, let's see, what are we going to jump up to 2001, that's 23 years ago. Michael Jackson, Queen, Aerosmith, Steely Dan, Paul Simon, and Richie Valens were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It's one hell of a class right there.
Yeah, never heard of them? Look them up. 21 years ago today, in 2003, on this day, let's see. Oh, yeah, this is the day the Iraq War started.
Oh.
Believe it or not, yep. President George W. Bush ordered airstrikes on Baghdad on this day. And finally, 12 years ago, in 2012, Wendy's overtook Burger King as the second biggest burger joint in the U.S. McDonald's still has more locations than both Wendy's and Burger King combined. And that's what happened on March 19th in our history.
Thank you, Jimmy. So we got a couple text messages that came in talking about things that make you feel old to the Rubik's Cube, which turns 50 this year. We have a text. So one of our local weather forecasters, Lauren Oleski, I guess she can solve the Rubik's Cube while doing her live weather forecast.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
According
no
to our
kidding.
text, she has done that before.
Oh, wow.
WPEC, yep. And then we have things that make you feel old, and I totally get this. When you have to scroll 8 or 9 times, just more than that, to find your birth year on a form.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that. I was like, why?
It's like spinning the thing at the Price is Right.
Yep.
when you're doing a showcase showdown
That's
thing
how
at the
it
in the middle.
feels. And then we have our girl Sarah B says, I've never solved a Rubik's Cube either, but I hear the trick is to focus on making each side match whichever color is in the middle. Says she said, I haven't had a Rubik's Cube since I heard this, so I haven't been able to try it.
Okay.
So you try to focus on each side to match whichever color is in the middle.
I really don't think I've ever tried to solve a
Have you
Rubik's
not?
Cube.
I mean, that was like, I know it's 50 years old and you're not 50, but that was like the jam back then in the 80s and 90s, those Rubik's Cubes.
I was busy juggling and playing with my yo-yo at the time.
Okay.
That's
Those
one thing
are my
I don't know how to do is
A
yo-yo.
yo-yo?
Yeah.
So easy.
So bad at it.
Are you too young for the hacky sack?
No, no.
That was our generation.
All day. I can hack all day.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was around.
You seem like a hacky sacker.
I think I still have my original hacky sack.
Do you really?
It's got the Grateful Dead bear on it,
No
and it
kidding.
smells like patchouli.
Of course. Hacky sacking with the boys while hanging in the quad. And then Big Lots.
Allegedly.
Big Lots still uses price stickers on their merchandise.
Do they really?
It's been a
No
long time
kidding.
since I've been to a Big Lots.
You know, Aldi's does the
I don't
same thing
remember seeing
too.
that.
Do they?
Ollie's,
Do they really?
yeah,
I like
good
an
stuff
Aldi's.
cheap. Yeah, no, Ollie's.
Oh,
Ollies. Ollie's. Good stuff cheap.
I don't
There's
know.
a few of them around here in the Palm
Okay.
Beaches and Treasure Coast. I first went to an Ollie's living in Cleveland, and it's basically stuff that not has expired, but has kind of, I don't want to say
About to?
not-
Close?
when we're looking at food,
Yes, of
sure,
course.
but like things that have just gone. That model issue is done for the year. So the
Okay.
department stores and the regular retailers they get rid of it, and it ends up in a place like Ollie's, and they just sell it at a super discount.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, like my wife loves going there because she likes the Dove body wash and whatnot.
Oh, all right,
and she just
all right.
buys it at like half the price, and she loves Ollie's for that very reason.
Okay, I got to check it out. Never
They need to
have I
pay
ever.
me for their advertising bill now.
Right?
Yeah, really.
If
Here's
you're
a
looking for
free
somebody
one.
to endorse you.
Yeah. Buy an ad next time.
So
As
you
they say.
mentioned the Miami Dolphins during the trifecta, and
Heads
I know.
up, yeah. Chris
Yes.
Greer is cooking. looking, man.
There you go.
And I know you are a big fan of the Miami Dolphins. Jason is. In fact, he's wearing a Dolphins sweatshirt right now. Do you hear more drama that's going on with Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, I didn't read it. I didn't click into the bait to see what it is. What's going on? I wanted to save it for the show. What's happening?
He hid this, right? I guess there was an alleged domestic dispute, but they because normally his life is out there. It happened back in January. Here we are mid-March. So we did hear that rumor that he filed for divorce. And he was like, no, I didn't. It was just very confusing. And this might have been what happened. So not only was that, his house caught on fire too in late January, but he was denying on social media that he filed for divorce. Her name is Kita Vaccaro. And they were just married for 2 months when that happened. He withdrew the petition, but then she's saying that they have been having problems. I guess his people, according to him, want him to sign a post-nup. She didn't sign a prenup. And he's like the highest paid wide receiver in the league. So she didn't sign a prenup. They got married pretty fast. And so now his people are like, you need to have her sign a post-nup.
Yeah.
And when you hear that while you're a postnuptial agreement, while you're married, probably in your head was like, this guy plans on leaving me, right? So they got in an argument about that.
I can understand getting in the argument. That doesn't necessarily mean that he wants to leave her. But look, they're just looking out for him, and I can't say as I blame him.
Yes. So her claims is that she felt bullied and threatened, and she said he was verbally abusive. He even smashed a unlit, thank goodness, cigar in her face during the incident. Not a lit.
That's still not cool.
No.
I mean, that's
Yeah. Meanwhile, he told police he just flicked the cigar at her, but they said that obviously they didn't notice any visible signs of a struggle in the home. So it looks like they're not going down the right path right now. So we shall see. But I think that's what stems the whole thing where he was saying that he was filing for a divorce. I think it was one of those just kind of knee-jerk reactions, and then maybe they
were together for a long time in the past, and they
Yes.
broke up. He had a bunch of kids with other people as soon as I think just like 6 months ago.
Well, we were surprised to hear that he got married when it seemed like he was still with some other baby mom or something. I mean, it was just kind of overlapping relationships, and he got married? Really?
Yeah, his people did not do due diligence on him before he got married. He definitely should have had a prenup in line. And now that he didn't, I don't blame them for encouraging him to get a postnuptial agreement. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Listen, the guy is he is the best wide receiver in the league.
And I think one of the highest paid, right?
One of the highest paid, rightfully so. And, he's got to protect himself and his family as well. And I know she's part of that family, but just saying, what is she bringing to the table? Was she wealthy as she got into it, or is she garnering her awareness and her wealth based on what he's accomplished? So that I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to sit here and play one on the radio. But I think that getting the guidance of an attorney is definitely in his best interest, and he needs to listen to what the hell they say.
Yes.
I hate to see the drama happening, off the field, because he's such a talent on the field. But I just hope he doesn't turn into another Antonio Brown. That's the only thing I'm afraid of, right?
So when all this came out, he was on a podcast. It was called the Pivot Podcast. And this was just recently, and he said that he is working to correct his off-field behavior. So he realizes that things aren't going well for him.
Look, I'm not denying he's a douchebag. He absolutely is. He's arrogant. He's full of himself. I don't care. I just want to see him perform on the field, and that's exactly what he did last year. All of the off-field antics that he had going on did not interfere with his play. He pulled some amazing. He did some amazing moves last season, and I want to see that happen again. So I think he's pretty good about separating personal and professional. But you can't deny that what happens, like your house catching on fire, or all the drama with your wife, it's going to get into the news, and it's going to affect the team as well. He does need to get that taken care of before next season.
Hopefully.
Well, speaking of getting things taken care of, let's get our giveaway taken care of, because it's that time.
Sure is. It is that time to give away a pair of one-day passes to the Tortuga Music Festival going on April 5th through the 7th on the beach in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Franny read earlier, and she's absolutely right. Jason Aldean, Lainey Wilson, Boyce II Men, just a couple of acts that are going to be there, and we know you want to go. So give us a call right now, 877-927-6969, 877-927-6969. We're going to play a little game called He Said, She Said. And that's an easy game. I'm going to read you a quote, and all you got to do is tell us. Did Greek say it? did Franny say it, or did I, Jimmy, say it? I'll play the audio to back it up. And if you guess correctly, we're going to send you for one day to Tortuga Music Festival. See, the phone lines are blowing up right now, so I'll get some people lined up and we'll get going in a minute.
Sounds good. And while he's doing that, Jason and I can tell you about the tastings events.
I am so looking forward to this.
Yes, yep.
Every time we do this, I have an amazing time. It's going to be April 13th, Tanger Outlets right here in West Palm Beach off Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. Unlimited food samples, unlimited wine samples, unlimited craft beer samples from the area's finest restaurants and distilleries and craft breweries. Amazing time.
Oh, yeah. We have live music there, your favorites from the iHeartRadio stations here in West Palm Beach and, of course, Treasure Coast. We have restaurants like the Cooper, City Cellar, Wine Bar, and Grill. They have been around forever, and that's for a reason because they are so good. Yard House, Talkin' Tacos, Buffalo Wild Wings, just to name a few. And then, yeah, if you like to have a little booze in your life, well, we got a lot of it, actually. Ace Cider, Hop Life Brewing, the Tasting Room, Knox and Dunn, Florida Rum will be there. And even restaurants like Mulligan's, they're going to be making their famous Bloody Marys.
Awesome. Come join us April 13th, Tanger Outlets, pbtastings.com for all the info and tickets. That's pbtastings.com, pbtastings.com. Come join us.
And I highly recommend to get your tickets now because the longer you wait, it may go up in price.
Or get sold out.
Yeah,
It happens.
That's true. And that VIP ticket where you get in an hour earlier than everybody else.
That's the key right there.
Yes, if you want to get in an hour earlier and make sure that food doesn't run out. They try to do their best, but sometimes it happens. It gets busy.
Absolutely.
So make sure you get your tickets today at pbtastings.com. Now, I wanted to get into a little bit while he's answering the phone, Jason. There are a few more things on that list of things that make you feel old. Now, I was listening during the commercials, and do you know the meow mix?
Yes.
The thing.
Meow, 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 meow,
Yes.
meow, 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 meow,
That-
meow, meow, meow,
that-
meow, 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 meow.
That,
Love it.
that originated 50 years ago, and the commercial is so solid because it's a bunch of business people in their car, and it looks very 74. And he was like, oh, my cat's calling me. And the cat answered, he answered the phone, and the cat is meowing away. It's so funny. And then something else on here that turned 50 years old, is the Kinders. Is it Kinders or Kinders? The surprise eggs?
I didn't even know what one of these
No?
was until like a month ago.
Yeah. So those 50 years old, and People Magazine. That's the last thing I'll mention on there. People Magazine has been around for 50 years. You ready to give away some tickets to Tortuga Music Festival?
Yes, we are. And we are starting today's contest with Sandra, and she's on the line with us. Sandra, welcome to the Penthouse. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing great, Sandra. Have you been to the Tortuga Music Festival?
I have not.
All right. Well, let's get you there this year.
Yeah, we can do that right now. Now, I'm going to read you a quote, Sandra. All you got to do is tell us, did Greek say it, did Franny say it, or did I, Jimmy, say it? And we're going to send you to Tortuga, all right?
Got it.
All right. Here is, let's find a good one for you. How about this one? How do you want it, big boy? How do you want it, big boy? Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did I, Jimmy, say that?
I'm going to go. I think you said it, Jimmy.
Oh,
no.
Darn it, Sandra. I'm sorry. That one was our very own.
How do you want it? Big boy.
Greek.
Oh my God, that is so creepy.
You mean that didn't turn you on, no?
No.
Okay.
Not one bit.
Darn it. I'm sorry about that, Sandra. Yeah, boy.
Thanks.
All right. Good luck.
I don't
Take
even
care.
want to know the context of where that came from.
I have no idea where it came from
How do you
either.
want it?
Big boy. That's an old one we've had for quite a while. Next up, we have John in the Penthouse. John, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, Jimmy. How are you?
Oh, I couldn't be better. And, you know what? I can be better. If you win tickets to Tortuga, that would make me feel better. How's that sound?
Sounds good. It makes me feel better, too.
All right, John. Let's see if we can get you down there. We got a pair of one-day passes to the Tortuga Music Festival up for grabs. All you got to do is tell us, who said this? Do you come with your own poll? Do you come with your own poll? Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did I, Jimmy, say that?
That's your cue, bud.
John?
Oh, I think he dropped off.
Did we lose John?
We lost him.
What happened to John?
I don't know. I don't see him on the line anymore.
All right, well.
Oh, sorry, John.
Unfortunately, we've got to move on to Gary. Gary, welcome to the Penthouse. How are you today, buddy?
I am doing great, guys. How are you?
Super, yeah. So unfortunately, we lost John, but that might be good for you.
Yep. Maybe maybe you can feel better by winning.
Yep.
So I'll tell you what. There's no reason why I can't give you the same one. Who said, "Do you come with your own pole"? Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did Jimmy, say that?
I would say Greek said that.
Oh, and unfortunately, no, that one was our very own.
Do you come with your own pole?
That was Miss Francis.
Yeah, I was talking about fishing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, fishing pole.
Of course.
Probably. Sorry about that, Gary.
Sorry, Gary.
All right, next up we have, let's see, Brad dropped off, so we've got Tony on the line. Tony, welcome to the Penthouse. How you doing today, buddy?
Oh, I'm 6 feet behind the 4. You can't find me.
Damn straight there, buddy.
I feel
All right.
good about this, Tony. You got it.
That's not going to be your quote, but if it was, you'd be winning Tortuga tickets. But let's see if we can get you there by this one. Do you know who said this? Give me the backside, baby. Give me the backside, baby. Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did Jimmy say that?
Ooh, you're probably going to get me. I'm going to say Franny.
Oh, and sorry about that. That one was give me the backside, baby. That was me.
That was you.
All day long.
Damn, these are tricky.
Sorry about that, Tony. Next up, we have I don't know who. What's your name, please? You're on the air.
Christian.
Christian, you are calling in for the contest, I assume?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me write that down real quick. Christian, I'm going to read you a quote. All you got to do is tell us. Did Greek say it? Did Franny say it? Or did I say it? And if you guess correctly, we're going to send you to Tortuga Music Festival. Here is your quote. I got down on every inch. I got down on every inch. Did Greek say that? Did Franny say that? Or did Jimmy say that?
And I'm going to go Greek.
Yeah.
Nice job.
And this is what that sounded like.
I got down on every inch.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that one.
Why do you look so uncomfortable, Jason?
All right. Well, great job, Christian. I'm going to put you on hold. If you can hang tight for a couple minutes, when we go to break, I'm going to get back on the air. I'm going to get back on the phone with you off air, and we'll get you set up with those tickets. Okay, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right.
This is so reminiscent of a bit that I used to do with Lex and Terry.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Out of context,
Yep.
and we had so much fun doing that. And I was I was the gatekeeper for it, right?
So you were Jimmy.
So I
basically,
was,
at the time.
I was the producer of the
Yes.
show at the time, and
I got down on every inch.
there's just and here's the thing: is you guys don't know you're doing it.
No, not at all.
We have trained ears. We're listening for these out of and some of these things were just outlandish and funny AF. I love it.
But nowadays we have, even people listening, participating, they'll send us a text on that text line, 47142, and they'd be like, Franny, I hope you got that. Like,
Yep.
I hope you got. So we will, but it's so true because you catch him on the daily, Jimmy does, and he has to write down what time,
Too
when
funny.
it happened.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Can I circle back on one thing we were talking about
course.
a few minutes ago? We were talking about the Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
All right, Jen
and how I've never even tried to solve one, and there's some certain tricks to it or whatever. And we had a texter text in saying Lorna Lesky did it while doing a newscast, doing a weathercast one day. I found the video.
Did you?
I watched the video during the competition there, and yeah, she indeed did do the full weathercast while solving a Rubik's Cube, and she solved it in 2 minutes.
Wow.
No kidding.
Impressive,
That
Lauren.
is very impressive. Maybe we'll get that up for the people. We'll
Sure.
put it up on Real Radio at 921.
We should have her come in.
Yeah,
they are
CBS
weather
12,
They are
weather partners of ours, and she does weather for us on a daily basis. I was a big fan of hers before. Now I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
So
There's so many people singing out that video right now. But it is that time where we have to come back with some fun facts and good news for the Olympians in the Paris Olympics. They're bringing something back, you guys.
Ooh, all right. Nice.
I'll let you know what that is on the other side on the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1.
When you give up trying to teach your parents how to use their smart speaker and take it home, tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. Getting you up to speed on traffic on Real Radio.
Accidents, I-95 southbound approaching Lantana Road, I-95 southbound approaching Woolbright Road. Both crashes are off on the shoulder.
Spot something on the roads? Call the traffic tip line, pound 250, keyword West Palm traffic. I'm Ron Hurst.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Greg from Monroe's of Palm Beach, and this Thursday night, it's the international kickoff for the Palm Beach Boat Show. 7 to 10 in Legends Lounge. Monroe's is calling all captains, brokers, and employees to stop by for some beautiful ladies, great entertainment, and a great menu. An open bar from 7 to 10. It's Thursday night, March 21st. Make sure you stop in for Monroe's kickoff party for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Monroe's of Palm Beach, open 7 days a week till 5 a.m. Thursday night. Peace.
If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, look no further than Moon Valley Nurseries. America's largest box tree grower is now open in Riviera Beach. Here you'll find a wide assortment of mature trees and hedges to choose from. Work with our dedicated nursery pros to plant your dream yard. Whether you're looking for instant privacy, a relaxing oasis, or a statement piece, Moon Valley Nurseries is here for you from planning to planting. Call 561-295-8852 to schedule a free design consultation or come see us at 3200 Broadway in Riviera Beach.
Get ready for the Twist Competition. March 22nd at Hop Life in Port St. Lucie. Hop Life's The Twist Competition starts at 8:30 and last person standing wins. Dress in your best 50s attire for a chance to win the Best Dressed contest. The Hop Life PSL online at hoplife.com.
Weezer Indie Rock Road Trip. Coming your way Saturday, September 21st. Hard Rock Live. Weezer live with special guests, The Flaming Lips and Dinosaur Jr. On sale now at myhrl.com. Weezer, don't miss out.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, it's the Greek for Trojan Wealth, and today people are changing jobs. Years ago, they stayed for 25 years, but in today's market, people are changing. And when you leave, you might forget that you got a 401k at your old place, and now you got to bring it to your new place. Well, Trojan Wealth can help you with that. Figure out what you need, figure out your goals, and figure out what you should do with it. Give them a call today at 561-390-1000, 561-390-1000. Everybody's changing jobs these days, and you can't forget your 401k. Well, sit down with Trojan Wealth. Offices in West Palm Beach, free consultation, and they can help you with your old 401k and bring it to your new job. Your money should always be working for you, and Trojan Wealth can help you. 561-390-1000, 561-390-1000. Peace. Advisory services offered through Trojan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Real Radio weather.
From the Gordon Partners Weather Center, have you or a loved one been injured through no fault of your own? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. A beautiful day ahead of us following that rain overnight and last night. We have temperatures that will rise into the low 70s. Some areas might not even get there, stopping in the upper 60s for highs. And then overnight tonight will be nice and cool, waking up to temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, unseasonably cool for this time of year.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate, not one based on anyone else. So if you drive safely, you could save money. Good to know. Visit allstate.com or call for a quote today.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Every day, Cintas service reps help businesses get ready for the workday. They provide freshly laundered workwear delivered every week. Mats, mops, restroom and cleaning supplies. First aid and safety products to help your employees stay safe. They even test and inspect fire extinguishers and emergency lights. Cintas helps keep your business running smoothly. See what Cintas can do for you. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More, there's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Walk right through the door, it's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Coming up on the show, more March Madness talk as the big dance approaches, plus Drew Dinsick on the NBA, and Jason Weingarten from Under a Cloud of Smoke. What the heck is that guy betting? It's a numbers game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, right here at VSiN.
The NFL draft is just over a month away, and rumors for who goes where are heating up. Hi, I'm Stormy Bonantoni with VSiN, the sports betting network. Since Caleb Williams is a $12 favorite to go number 1 overall, let's take a look at the market with a little more bang for your buck. Should the Bears take Williams with the top selection, the quarterback-needy Washington Commanders are on the clock at number 2, and LSU's Jaden Daniels has officially leapfrogged UNC's Drake May in the market. Last year's Heisman Trophy winner gained a lot of steam following the combine in Indy, despite not working out or having his measurements taken, and is currently minus 115 favorite to go 2. May at minus 105 was regarded as the second best prospect to Williams for most.
Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. You're listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Yeah, you are. You're listening to The Penthouse. I'm going to be dreaming about that at night. You're listening to The Penthouse. Thank you so much for tuning in at 92.1, 101.7, or, of course, that absolutely free iHeartRadio app anywhere around the world. We can be there right in your pockets. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Franny. Good afternoon to you, Jimmy. Are we in a pocket?
I'm in your pocket. Good morning. Or good afternoon,
Yes.
actually. Look at that, 12:04 already.
Oh, man, time's been flying by these days. And good afternoon to you, Jason.
Good afternoon, Franny.
Yes.
Hello, Jimmy. How we doing, everybody?
Very good.
We're doing good. We're doing good. And I always say you can be that fourth member, the fourth chair in the Penthouse. You can call us 877-927-6969. That's one way.
I don't know how I feel about this.
What do you? Oh, we have
This
the
whole
camera.
thing
We have the
here.
camera in your face.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you want to back. You want to back it up just a little bit because it's like I can see up your nose right now.
Get the microphone maybe out of
Actually,
your
I think
face
I can
there.
see. I can see your brain. If you don't know.
Oh, you found it, huh?
I did.
I've been looking for it for years.
Real Radio.
Looking up the wrong orifice.
RealRadio921.com. Click on that Real TV. That's brought to you by Jason Weiser, attorney at law. And you can look at all of our mugs. And if you've never seen Jason, or if it's been a long time, he's right there. His big old head. I'm just kidding.
I did not know I had a giant
You don't
cranium,
have a big
Franny.
head. It's just so close. It's just so close. You're not like John Mellencamp or anything.
Oh, yeah, dude. If you, this is a joke.
Goes with the chair.
This is a running joke we have
It goes
over
with
on.
the chair. Did you hear that one?
Yes, I did. Little running joke we have over on mornings on
Yes.
98.7 The Gator, Jason and Franny show. We play John Mellencamp naturally. It's a classic rock radio station. And we play a lot of rock, but I'm a fan of John Mellencamp. But I noticed a couple years ago, John Mellencamp's cranium is gigantic.
Is it really?
Like, if you ever look at a picture of him, like, his head is huge. I mean, it's just like, it's there, man. It's a billboard. Like, you could sell ad space on that thing.
And I didn't realize it until he brought it up. And then when you put him side by side, because Bruce Springsteen recently jumped on stage with him, and they're next to each other, and it was just like, wow. Then the comparison between the two, you're like, yep, that dude's got a big head.
It's borderline bobblehead, this guy. I mean, he's just
No kidding.
He's a huge, big old cranium.
I haven't seen him in a while. I just saw in the news this morning, too, that he took care of a heckler at one of his shows.
Oh, did he?
And he ended up cutting his show short, apparently, because of it. So
He does that. He doesn't handle hecklers very well.
No.
And not just that, it was Bob Dylan had one too, but he just kind of ignored it recently because a lot of people weren't happy that he was playing all his new stuff. They were like, give us your old
Well, that was
stuff.
a Hard Rock here, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, these guys know that the fans are coming to hear the hits. I can't tell you, I've been to Billy Joel, been to Garth Brooks, a lot of these global iconic artists. They know you're coming to hear the hits, and most of them, they will play the hits because that's what you're here. What you're there to hear. They're like, hey, by the way, just FYI, I want to play one of my new songs for you. Then we'll get back to all the cool stuff.
Sure. And we all see it.
Bob
We've seen
Dylan
that.
wants nothing of it.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm playing all this stuff. It's my new album. I'm
He's
going to do that.
80. He's like, screw it.
He also does not give a rat's ass one bit. So.
He's going to do whatever he wants to do.
And he also calls his shot before people go to the show. He's like, listen, I'm not here to play all the old hits that you're here for. I'm going to play this new album and these new songs, and that's it.
Well, and I would imagine his fans by now know that, too, right? I mean, when you're like that for quite a while, the audience gets used to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that one with Mellencamp that he was telling a story about his grandmother, and somebody was like, hey, quiet down, just play some music, it's enough with his stories. And that's what pissed him off.
It did. Somebody was in Toledo, and somebody was like, they said, play some music. And he was like, what do you think I've been doing? You called him a sea sucker.
Whoa! Yeah. It's a family show here, John.
Yes, he called him a sea sucker, and that's what happened with him. But yes, it is that time where I get into fun facts, and I think that Nerd and Jason might enjoy these because today is National Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Day. So yes, we like to base them on whatever holiday it is. We did mention first day of spring is today. It's also anything important here. It's National Poultry Day. It's also Great American Meat Out, where you're not supposed to eat any meat today.
Really?
It makes no sense.
Great
National
American
Poultry Day.
Meat Out. Yeah.
My wife has not consumed a piece of meat intentionally in 20 years.
A long time.
Huh?
Yeah, we had a had a little shindig for her called Veggie Fests. A couple of weeks back.
Is it an anniversary that she has?
It's an anniversary. It's an unspoken anniversary. So I invite all her little girlfriends over, and they bring a bunch of vegetable foods. Meanwhile, I'm over here in the corner just shoveling a steak down my throat. 20 years.
Oh, that's crazy. Good for her. But it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Day, so she must be really fertile, by the way, because we talked about it yesterday, that the fertility or horny, I can't remember which one it was. You were watching the thing about the vegetarian
so there was the show on Netflix, Jimmy. We were talking about it briefly yesterday. It's called You Are What You Eat, and they were doing, it was the twin experiment. I see where your head's at. No low-hanging fruit on this one, okay? So the twin experiment was they wanted to study twins who have basically identical twins who have the same genetic makeup.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Yeah. Okay.
And they wanted to see
about.
how, an omnivore diet versus a vegetarian, or actually a vegan diet in this instance, affects and can, in instances, reverse the biological age of people. I'm not going to get into all the details or whatever. I'm not here to tell you what to eat and what to do or whatever. But one of the things that they did study was female arousal based on the diet that they were on. So they had this heat-censored camera zeroed in on the lady bits there, and they did a baseline study at the very beginning before they started the diet, and then they kept every couple weeks or whatever, and at the end they had a final study, and the libido of the women that were on the vegan diet skyrocketed through the roof. Three times that of an omnivore diet. So
they get a little randy, eh?
I guess so.
Exactly. A little interesting.
Yes.
I mean, we're not here to tell you what to eat or whatever, but it's an interesting watch. You Are What You Eat on Netflix.
Well, speaking of Ninja Turtles, we can get some pizza?
Yeah.
In honor.
So yes, it is National Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. And here's some facts you may not have known about these mutants. Did you know that they were created as a parody of Daredevil? So the creators loved Daredevil so much that they decided to make a one-off comic about the turtle ninjas and Ninja Turtles. They said what you see when you read the comic book, there's many references to the Daredevil comic book.
Really?
I see the similarities.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Except for they're not blind, and Daredevil was.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be the biggest correlation you can draw, but still, no. Love them.
Yeah, well, I guess Michelangelo did go blind at one point. Did you know that?
I did not know
They
that.
said, yep. They said it's no surprise, which I thought it was, on many of these thrilling adventures, one of which resulted in an explosion that blinded Michelangelo.
Huh.
Was that a forever thing? I don't know. I never read the comic books.
Good question.
I just know the TV show, the cartoon, and the movies.
Yeah, I watched the cartoon and the movies, and I remember I had the video games, all of that, but my memory's shot. I don't remember anything.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't recall one of them being blind.
Yeah, I guess Michelangelo went blind after an explosion.
Who was your favorite turtle?
Michelangelo.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Michelangelo all day.
All the way. April O'Neil. She wasn't always a reporter. In the animated series, she was introduced as a reporter with an affinity for the color yellow. She wore a yellow top all the time. But in the comic book, she was actually an assistant baker. It has to say baker? Yeah. Interesting.
Sure
I was going to say maybe it was
banker?
a banker, but it says at Baxter Stockman's laboratory.
Huh.
Interesting,
Okay.
right? Yep. They said that they actually, Shredder, we know who Shredder is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was based on a cheese grater. They said with Eastman and Laird,
That makes
we're
all the
looking
sense
for
in the world.
for a suitable
Look at him. He
foe.
looks like a cheese grater.
Yeah, for a suitable foe for the turtles, Eastman was inspired by a metal cheese grater that could be a potential weapon, and then that's what they created him by. He looked at his cheese grater. He was like, you know what? This would be a solid villain.
Yeah.
And that's what they based him on. Yep. They also claim here that one of the creators, Peter Laird, hates the cartoon, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. It said that he did not want to have to soften up their comics for an animated version. But guess what? Money talks.
Mm-hmm.
And so the money they earned served as some consolation for him. He was like, "Great, I'll take it." Uh-huh. They said
Twist my arm.
Speaking of people not liking it in the beginning, Hollywood did not want to initiate the filmmaking of the cartoon because they didn't think it was going to sell. And it ended up doing pretty damn well. Yep. They also, which I didn't realize, had a huge Broadway show. Before Hamilton became the talk of the town, they said with its historical vantage point, the Turtle Brothers were shining through the Coming Out of Their Shells musical. Anybody hear that?
Nope.
Nope, not at all. And then they said that ad people are responsible for everything you love. All the iconic catchphrases like Turtle Power were created by, of course, advertisement companies that had the sole aim of increasing sales for the toys. So that wasn't something that was created by the creators themselves. Yep. And there you go for your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fun facts.
Takes a little bit out of it, huh?
There is
Find things like that out.
SNL did a pretty funny skit a few years ago. It's a middle-aged mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
They
about.
fast-forwarded like
Yep.
25 years, and then one of them was trying to get sober, and like that was a kid. So it's so funny.
That is. It's pretty good. So, yeah, I had teased that the Olympics are bringing back something. And no, it's not necessarily a sport that they're bringing back. So back in 2020, and I know that they had certain like rooms they banned this, but this was just in general in 2020. Tokyo, they got rid of, or at least were discouraging athletes from physical contact of any kind.
This is 2020 though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
No sex.
Yeah.
No sex whatsoever. Well, the 2020 Olympics, which were held in 2021, right? But they say that sex is back at the Olympics.
Nice.
And I have a feeling a lot of it has to do with where it's at. It's Paris, right? But they said that, yes, you can get your sex on in the Olympic Village when these athletes were not allowed to. In fact, they are encouraging it so much that they have around 300,000 condoms that are available for athletes. It's a lot of condoms.
That is a lot.
Yeah, they said if you're wondering about the math on that, 300,000 rubbers is enough for each athlete to use 2 every day of the Olympics.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Good for them.
Talk about an impressive libido. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yikes.
I bet you they got it going on. But we've heard things before. Some people claim that it does help the performance. But then we've also heard people say that they, like, I don't know if it's a rumor, that they don't like to have sex before a big game.
Right. Because it hinders their performance.
Because it hinders their performance.
I've heard it both ways. I'm like, hey, you're in your own head. Screw it. Just do whatever you want to do.
Is there a pun in there?
Yeah.
Probably. Many puns. Well, you know what happens, when you get married and you have sex? It'll do a little segue there from sex to weddings.
What? Oh, marriage?
Yeah,
Kids?
marriage, kids. Well, no, actually, I got some wedding day nightmare stories. Were you done for any? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't want to interrupt.
You take
but
control.
I got some wedding day. Oh, I'm all right. I'm in control. Can we get Jack the Whipper back in here? So anyway, we love finding these, and some of these stories are absolutely unbelievable. So we'll just start and dive right into it. One person wrote in, it had rained earlier in the day, but the weather was clearing up. The bride and groom went to take some photos after the ceremony. An unsupervised 6-year-old ran up to a puddle the bride was carefully walking past and jumped into it. Her dress had mud splatter all the way up to her shoulders. I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
This one person wrote in.
I get it.
Now, that's probably the tamest out of all these. So let's just get right into it because these are fun. I conducted one wedding where the bride's father had passed away the year before. Upon entering the garden to take their seats, the guests were met by a skeleton dressed in the bride's father's clothes and were asked to shake its hand.
Get out of here.
Is that sick or what?
Oh, that's dark, man.
That is very dark.
I love it.
That's great. The groom shoved cake at his new bride's face so hard that it broke one of her teeth. But
what?
It gets worse. He kept pushing her until she tripped over, fell backwards. She broke her wrist, and then she tried to stop her
abuse.
fall. And there was blood dripping out of her mouth. The groom's father ended up getting into a fight with him, and they were like beating the hell out of each other.
Out of here.
So the groom's father, not even the bride's father, was mad.
His father.
Good. Sticking up for his lady, his wife. But oh my goodness. So
Can you
I've
imagine
heard
it
of
getting
people
that bad?
I've heard of stories where people actually got divorced shortly after because there was one bride we might have talked about on the show in particular who was just like, please, whatever you do, I do not want cake smashed in my face.
Right.
I don't want it smashed in my face, which I get.
You don't want it all over the dress, or you don't want it ruining
You spend so
everything.
much time getting ready for that day and spending a lot of money getting ready for that day. So he was like, okay. Well, what did he do? Bam, right in the cake. And so just out of the lack of respect.
Oh, he smashed her face directly into the cake?
Yes.
Not the cake into her face.
No, took her, and just the lack of respect and what she was like, this is the kind of guy I'm marrying. Like, can't even. Yep.
Break her tooth,
But
though?
that, though, broke her tooth.
That
and
was insane.
What'd you say, her wrist?
And her ribs.
And her wrist. Well,
I thought you said ribs. I'm sorry.
She fell over backwards,
Yeah.
and so she went to catch herself
Got
and
it.
broke her wrist falling down backwards from it. That's unbelievable.
Are they still married?
Let's see. It doesn't say. So I would have to say no in that one.
Right?
Outdoor summer wedding in Texas. The groom's 90-plus-year-old grandmother died during the reception.
Oh,
They found out when she
no.
couldn't be, they couldn't get her up for the family photos.
Oh, no.
And there she was, passed away.
I mean, she
Talk
was,
about a cursed marriage.
She was 90.
Jeez. Yeah, it's
In all
still.
fairness.
Couldn't just hold on for an extra hour.
Maybe she made it till the very end and she just wanted him to say their vows and hear the I do's, and then she just left.
But wait, there's more. At the after party, the groom spent the whole night watching a basketball game on TV at the bar. When it was time for him to make a speech, he just said, this was supposed to be a special day, but my team just lost, so I hate it. Blank you all. This sucks. The marriage lasted about 2 weeks.
Wow. So we talked about that. March Madness is
safe to
probably
say.
not a good time to have a wedding or football season. You have a major game, but I think when the Dolphins are in town, I can't remember. And you were talking, Jason was saying how you had to go to a wedding. And I was like, do these people not look at the calendar?
Yeah, and it's happening again this year. A buddy of mine's getting married in outside of Denver, Colorado, and it's like the 3rd or 4th week of September. I'm like, bro, couldn't you have done this during preseason? Man, I just bought season tickets, and now I'm getting a freaking invite here. Like, what are you doing to me here? Well, obviously, you don't know the schedule yet. I mean, it would be great if it was an away game for the Dolphins in Denver. That would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be just... What are the chances of the
Trust me,
stars lining up?
The stars will not align for me on that one. I promise you that. What'll happen? It'll be like the Jets will be in town, or one game I want to be at, or something, and I'll have to sell my tickets just because I got to go to the guy's wedding.
Well, because that's what happens. And listen, I understand not everybody likes football or basketball. I do get that. But there are a lot of guys and girls who do. And the last place they want to be is at a wedding when their team is playing. And we've seen them. I've witnessed it before at my first wedding. People going to the bar because I was that jerk who did it. People go to the
here's
bar.
your wedding, and here's me watching the game.
Yeah.
That's what it would end up being. Like that's if they're playing, I'm watching the game during the ceremony. I don't care.
And just so you know, a lot of times Friday weddings are cheaper too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So just know that.
You want even cheaper than a Friday wedding? Go for a Monday wedding.
You've been to one of those, haven't you?
I did last year. Yeah.
Well, but then you got Monday Night Football.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, shall we continue?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have 3 more, and they're great. The bride used old film strips from movie edit cast-offs for decorations for the centerpieces, right? So they were like little squares, and they had little movie clips on the inside of them, right? And
that were actually playing, or they were still shots?
No. They were just were just a little centerpiece.
I was like, that's kind of cool if they were actually playing.
Right?
Okay.
And so flowers and film strips at it was a kind of a quirky, fun wedding. Yeah, sounds great, right? So she picked them up, and I'll get right to the end of it. Some of those were porn.
Oh,
I thought that's where you were going with this too.
Yeah. Who did that? Who sabotaged her?
Apparently, that's just where they got them from. Some of them were just porn. Some were from like old quirky sci-fi films.
Okay.
But some of it was porn.
Yeah.
Dude, so people were picking up, looking it up.
Full frontal.
Like you
right.
look up into the light and try to see what the picture is.
That's awesome.
Here's another one. At the reception, a friend of the groom decided this was the time he wanted to announce his love for his friend's new bride by saying he wanted to perform a sexual act on her. You know what? A fight broke out, and the groom and his friend went to jail.
Damn.
Like, that was the time. Like, I think your wife's the greatest, and I want a lunchtime or lunchtime.
I want to go to town, right.
Yeah.
Finally, the maid of honor.
Was that part of his speech? By the way, if you're in a wedding and you're a speech, this is just my recommendation. Just minimize it to like just a couple of minutes. It doesn't mean like I've been to weddings where these speeches will be like 30 minutes.
Brevity.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like just
60 seconds or less.
60. I said
Get
a couple
to
minutes.
the point.
All
Because
right.
you're getting in the way of me drinking.
Just imagine that it's sex. The maid of honor had sex. Speaking of sex, the maid of honor had sex with the bride's father. Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. The maid of honor had sex with the bride's father in the groomsman's bathroom. They were both married, not to each other.
Wow. It makes it even worse if the father's still married to the bride's mom. Like, it's not a I mean, either way, it's not. But if it was like the mom, the biological mom.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
Send that film. Use that as a centerpiece.
There are a lot of terrible people out there according to this. 47142. That is an easy way to use that text line. And if you have been to a wedding where you saw something pretty crazy, you can absolutely let us know, because I know that we have seen some stuff. I hate to throw them under the bus, but my first wedding, it was at a beautiful place. We got married at the Boca Resort, and just stupid, I spent a lot of time and money on it, and obviously you look back now because we're not married, you're like, oh, what a waste. But it was just absolutely gorgeous, and even from the food to everything, and my girls were just a mess, and I love them so much. But and these are my best friends.
They were drinking.
Like I couldn't find them. Like they were like doing cocaine in the bathrooms. So
They didn't call you?
I couldn't. They didn't invite me.
Anybody banging like the groom's father?
No,
or
they were just like anytime there was like a part where I needed them for pictures or for something or for a toast, I was just like, where? Can't find them anywhere.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm still friends with them to this day. But it was a.
Those are
Still doing cocaine in the bathroom.
Yeah, actually.
Is there anything that you guys can think of maybe that you saw at a wedding that was just like, wow, this is really happening?
Well, my first wedding when I was like 22 or something like that, I was that one that was watching basketball on TV. I was in the bar watching TV while they were getting the reception ready. My uncle had to come in and get me, drag me by the back of my collar. Get the hell in here.
That's funny. I went to a wedding in Bloomington, Illinois, and it was my best friend's sister, so she's like a sister to me, and I'm like the whole crew was going up from Florida. I was coming in from Ohio, and my one buddy loves to get stoned off his ass, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go take care of business outside about 5 minutes before the ceremony." Forgets that he said, "Oh, I got to go in watch the ceremony."
Yeah.
Puts his joint out and puts it in his cigarette pack, and then brings it into the ceremony with him the entire venue smelled like a freaking lit joint the whole time. The second he walked in, you knew exactly what it was because you could see it in his eyes and you could smell it permeating from him. My wife and I are on the other side. I'm like, oh, Chris, what are you doing, man? What's going on? But he was having the time of his life.
You see some stuff. I've been to a wedding.
I do too.
Yeah.
I've told the story, Jason. We won't get into details about it, but you just have to know I was in a wedding that was at PGA National, and 3 of the groomsmen, including the bride's brother, got arrested before the ceremony, and the groom had to just start picking guys in suits to be like, hey, will you stand here? Oh, yeah. They got banned for a while. From that. It was that crazy. For different incidents. Not all in the same thing. Different things.
Out of here.
Yeah. Pretty rowdy. But if you got your story, let us know. 47142. Just start that off with Real Radio. When we get back, we have a Greeks trifecta coming your way. Plus, I'm going to let you know, you may not have to go to the gym anymore. They got a little magic. I know.
We're going to talk about this, are we? Okay.
We are going to talk about this and more coming your way on the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1.
Real Radio is the news junkie.
I don't know that anybody watches a Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix and like, I'm going to eat a dude today. Damn it. Don't use that against me, please. I don't know.
I mean, it's too late.
The News Junkie, weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Let's see what's up with traffic on Real Radio.
Boca Raton crash. It's blocking 2 right lanes. Seeing some big delays, 95 north at Yamato. Boynton Beach, we still have that road work. Lawrence Road closed in both directions between Hypaluxo and Lantana Road. Use Military or Congress instead. That's traffic. I'm Judy Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Silk. Feel plenty good. Shop wherever you find groceries. Feel plenty good by incorporating Silk into your morning routine. Silk's delicious plant-based beverages help bring a daily dose of goodness. They are rich in calcium and a good source of vitamins A and D to support the health of you and your family. Shop wherever you find groceries.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, look no further than Moon Valley Nurseries. America's largest box tree grower is now open in Riviera Beach. Here you'll find a wide assortment of mature trees and hedges to choose from. Work with our dedicated nursery pros to plant your dream yard. Whether you're looking for instant privacy, a relaxing oasis, or a statement piece, Moon Valley Nurseries is here for you from planning to planting. Call 561-295-8852 to schedule a free design consultation or come see us at 3200 Broadway in Riviera Beach.
See this garage door? I gotta be honest with you. It's ugly. I mean, successful, attractive homeowner like you, it's time to move on. This is not the garage door your parents thought you'd spend the rest of your life with. And that ain't true with everything in life, don't get me wrong. I mean, honey, if you're listening, you can't divorce me just because I'm no longer the handsome stud you married. But your garage door? The neighbors all think you can totally do better. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Let us show you how many sexy new alternatives there are. Just waiting for someone like you. You swipe right on a beautiful new design, we install everything in a lovely ceremony, and you and your new garage door live happily ever after. For better, not worse. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll come make it right. Maybe I should pick up some flowers on the way home.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
In Florida, hurricanes are a part of life. Our Category 5 storm catcher screens, shutters, and high-impact windows will help protect your home from hurricane, winds, rain, and airborne debris. Call 866-61-SMART today for your free in-home consultation.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare information guide absolutely free. Call 800-919-3200. That's 800-919-3200. 800-919-3200.
Hey, it's the Greek. What do guys do when they get together? Maybe they're hanging out, playing golf, talking about their favorite team, talking about their family, their kids, their favorite pet, their hobbies, or maybe they're talking about just having a cigar. Well, in fact, most men talk about those topics, but there are a few things men should really talk about, much more intimate issues, performance anxiety, and disappointing their partner. I know it's not easy to talk about, but there's a place to go where they'll be happy to listen. Simply Men's Health. The number is 561-459-5356. That's 561-459-5356. They offer a wide range of wellness and med spa services from anti-aging to male sexual health. They'll get you back to your youth and make you feel young again. Right now, you can get one of their free ED treatments from Simply Men's Health when you call 561-459-5356. That's 561-459-5356. They can make you feel young again and make you a rock star you were when you were young. Peace.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Here's what's happening with the weather on Real Radio.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Kroll. A beautiful day ahead of us following that rain overnight and last night. We have temperatures that will rise into the low 70s. Some areas might not even get there, stopping in the upper 60s for highs. And then overnight tonight will be nice and cool, waking up to temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, unseasonably cool for this time of year.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is getting you ready for the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Andrew Levy, and I'll be delivering 2 shows a week to make sure you're caught up on the latest NFL news, every free agency move, and how it changes the draft needs of your NFL team. Draft experts, talent scouts, mock drafts, and shock drafts too. NFL Total Access, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
Greek Trifecta is sponsored by Jason Weiser, attorney at law.
Real Radio 92.1. We are an iHeart radio station. You're listening to The Penthouse Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Yes, you just heard him say we are an iHeart radio station, and I want to give you a heads up because our iHeart radio family is throwing the tastings, food, wine, craft beer, and music events. Yes, we do this twice a year. I feel like every time we do it, it just gets better and better, and I am super excited about these restaurants that are going to be participating. It's food, wine, craft beer, live music, unlimited amounts of food from places like the Cooper. We also have a Payway, Yard House, Drive Shack, Giovanni's. If you got a bit of a sweet tooth, we got nothing but cakes coming. And then, of course, need to have some beer and wine in our life from Hop Life Brewing. If you like a cider is going to be there. Mom Water, which is a really great, it's actually the ones I've had, it's almost like a seltzer, but it's a flat water. It's a canned drink. It's so fun with names like Karen.
And it's vodka-based, right?
It's vodka-based.
I think we're going to have Dad Water out there, too.
Oh,
I know it's
nice.
not on our list, but we're working on getting
All
Dad
right.
Water, which is, I believe, tequila-based as well.
I love it.
Amazing time tastings at Tanger Outlets, April 13th. We want you to come join us. Stuff your face. Get unlimited samples, food, wine, craft beer. It's a great event. We'll all be out there having a good time. PBTastings.com for all the details and tickets. PBTastings.com. There's an advance ticket you can get, which gets you in an hour earlier, so you can get access to all this before everybody else. PBTastings.com. Come join us.
There you go. This is Franny. Of course, that voice is Jason. And we have Jimmy in the house. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello and good afternoon.
G-Man is on vacation, but Jimmy has been doing a fantastic job handling his trifecta.
Riders up. It's Creepy Trifecta.
Well, just when it seemed like the Dolphins were losing a bunch of players, they did sign a good cornerback the other day, Kendall Fuller. After Miami saw several defensive starters leave via free agency, they were able to score Fuller in a 2-year deal 2 days after adding safety Jordan Poyer. Fuller, who won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs alongside, of course, Tyreek Hill, is considered the jewel of the class so far. Florida Panthers fans, look out. They are doing it again. They're only 1 point behind the Boston Bruins for the, I believe, the East, right, Jason? I know you're a big-time Panthers fan. And so they're right there. They're nipping at
Eastern
their buds.
Conference champions, the Florida Panthers.
That's right. And so next up, they're taking on Nashville on Thursday night at Amerant Bank Arena. Finally, the 49ers found out the hard way that, boy, it counts. All that money that they spend on their players, it counts. They have to count every dime of it. Well, what happened? Apparently, they had an accounting error and they misreported the team's cumulative player compensation. Because of it, they ended up getting a penalty in the draft, not only this year but next year as well. Next year's 5th round choice, they're gonna lose it, and this year's 4th round selection is moving from 131 to 135. Now, it's not a big penalty, as you can imagine, but that's because the NFL determined that it didn't look like it was intentional, and they did still stay under the salary cap, so they didn't gain a big advantage or anything, but they just didn't misreported it, and that was, unfortunately, an error that they couldn't let go. So, and that is your Greeks trifecta for the noon hour.
Thank you, Jimmy. So earlier on, Jimmy was talking about horror stories that happened at weddings. And we have a text that came in, 47142. Started off with Real Radio. It says, weddings. My mother wore a formal white dress to a wedding. And, that's always a no-no. When the bride had asked her family to sing at the wedding and reception.
Right, okay.
All right, so mom shows up, and it's not mom of the bride. It's Sarah's mom shows up in a formal white dress to sing at the wedding and reception. She said karma got her because she started her period and everyone could tell. In a beautiful white dress.
Are you kidding me?
Yep, Mother Nature said, here you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that.
No, I mean, listen, I have a question.
Sure. May have an answer.
And I don't mean to be graphic. I understand it's lunchtime. I'm trying to have mine over here while we talk here as well. These are things that women can kind of tell are going to be coming eventually, correct?
So
If
you are on a regular cycle, yes, but there are some women who have irregular cycles and you just don't know. I'm not trying to be graphic, but mine sucks. Mine shows up anytime I'm about to go on vacation or I wear white. It's just like, I'm here, have some. I'm going to ruin your day.
But
some people know when it's going to happen, like to a T. They have it in their calendar, but it's not for the same for everybody.
My follow-up question to that would be, if you know you're wearing white and you know it's going to sneak up on you, why would you not have some preventative action.
Maybe she didn't know it was going to sneak up on her.
If you're wearing white to begin with,
just wear it.
Take care of business, you know? I know there's,
yeah,
you know.
I guess. I mean, I guess you could do something for that just in case kind of moment. But yeah.
How often do you wear white?
I love whites.
Okay.
If you look in my closet, I have like a very basic. I have
I know,
white
I've met
and
your
black.
husband.
White and black. That's it. Are you calling Matt basic?
I'm calling him white AF. But if you know you're wearing whites, would you not be proactive in nature?
Well, it doesn't always happen, especially when you're like, oh, it's so far off. It's never going to happen to me. I am because of how it is with me, but I understand how it can happen because we've heard about it. We've seen the embarrassing moments. They've even, showcased it on television shows. And
Look,
movies.
I'm pleading ignorance here. I don't have the equipment
You
to
do
have the
not.
knowledge, so I understand.
You do
But
not.
I've learned a little bit over the years, and I figured that you could have some, especially if you're wearing white to a wedding.
Girl Scouts, always be prepared.
Exactly.
And speaking of lunchtime, we're going to get into a little food action, and then we're going to get into a way maybe you can burn off those calories without having to work out.
Oh,
so
all right, yeah.
A lot of people are going to be hitting the drive-thrus right now. I understand it's very convenient.
Yeah.
Going in and out, right? But
I love the convenience of Ideal Nutrition. IdealNutritionNow.com. It's delicious. I'm having
it is
eggplant
delicious.
today.
Yes, I'm actually doing the keto burger right now from Ideal Nutrition. There you go. So we have the stories that are coming from drive-thru workers, not necessarily stories, but these are their pet peeves. They're like, listen, if you want to smooth out that drive-thru experience, these are some things you should never, ever do in life. And this, Yahoo Life scoured through Reddit for the biggest pet peeves that drive-thru workers have. And the list is pretty damn long. But here are some of the biggest things.
I can imagine.
Oh, my God. The list was so long. But these are a few of the biggest things they say you should never do at a fast food drive-thru. People say vaping. Like right when they open the window, they'll get that big puff of vape in their face.
Yeah.
You can wait. You don't have to do it right then and there.
You're just being a douchebag at that point.
Just.
It's being done on purpose.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they say it happens all the time. This one.
What do they call that? Blowing clouds.
Is
if
that-
I remember right. Yeah.
is that what they call it?
They get those vape pens. Or not the. They're not even
mods. They
pens,
call them mods. Yeah, these big old contraptions and such.
The coil in it is just, like
So annoying.
you need a car battery to run it.
They are so fat, right?
And then that way they can use like a whole jug of juice just in one hit.
Yep.
So dumb. I know that obviously we're not encouraging the use of vape products by any means, but a buddy of mine used to have those mods, and he's like, then the Juuls and the Fuses of the world started coming out, and he switched to those, and it's much less of a cloud.
And they were saying like people were getting like popcorn lung or something
popcorn
from
lung,
all
yeah.
that
I
liquid.
think a lot of that had to do with there was a mass amount of the vaping cartridges with THC that were going around, and the guys were injecting them with vitamin E oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because when that vitamin E oil is vaped, that ended up being what was causing the popcorn lung.
Really?
Yeah, that's no good.
I think that's part of it. I'm sure there's a
okay.
lot more to it as well.
Right.
Because I think just inhaling vapors, I mean, basically liquid or whatever, I just don't think that can be good for you either.
Look, I think it's safe to say anything besides the air that you breathe is bad for your lungs.
Yep.
Very, very
Say
true.
that as a former smoker. So
Yeah, pretty safe to say.
On here, things that drive-thru workers are like, will you please stop doing this? These are pet peeves. Being indecisive. I've seen it. I've never worked at drive-thru, but being in the service industry, you see it all the time. Just kind of be prepared, especially if there's a huge line behind you. If you're either ordering at the bar or you're ordering here, don't dilly-dally. Know what you're going to get.
The problem with the drive-thru is that's the one time, like when you're inside and you're waiting in line and you're 4 people deep, you've got the menu there and you can read it. When you can't read the menu in the drive-thru, that's the one time that it kind of, I understand there's a little balance you have to have there. But I also understand where they say that. My daughter worked at Panera Bread for quite a while, and one of the things is they're graded when they do the drive-thru. They're graded on how long it takes from the time that the car pulls up to when they get their food and go out. And there's a goal that it's supposed to be like under 3 minutes or whatever. I don't remember the exact time.
It's a good goal to have.
But the problem is when the car comes up and they start looking at the menu, that time counts. So they're upset about that. They want you, hey, what do you want? I'll get it, get your order and get going, and they're graded on that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that's something that's out of their control.
Yeah, really.
And this one too. I don't know why it's a pet peeve. I get it. It might be a pain in the ass, but if you're feeding a large family or your work, they don't like it when you place a massive order.
Yeah.
Oh. It is what it is, right? This one I get totally rude. These are pet peeves of drive-thru
Isn't
workers.
that something you can order ahead on the app? I mean, a lot of these places are pushing towards app orders now. So if you know you're going to order big, order on the app and plan a pickup.
And I would say that that's probably where we're going to see some of these pet peeves go away because that's going to become more and more popular.
I utilize it too all the time. And if you do, I don't eat fast food often. One that every now and then is Chick-fil-A. But not just that, because when you order on the app, then you get all kinds of perks too.
Right,
so eventually you get free sandwiches and free drinks.
Yeah, plus you order it on your way there, and by the time you get there, it's ready. So you save time.
Hey, not for nothing, but the same thing happens with Ideal Nutrition. When I go to the store every once in a while, I get a free meal.
Talk on the phone. I get it.
Oh. Yeah.
Get off your phone if you're going to be dealing with somebody at a drive-thru. They said this one, I've never done it. I guess it's more common because these are things that came up multiple times. Ordering more food at the second window. Like, let's say you order the food, you pay, and then you're like, oh, whoops, I forgot I wanted this too.
I've never done that.
I haven't either.
I never even thought about doing that. Once the order's in, I thought I'm done.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, you got to go back around and start over again. Or go inside.
They said another thing here, pet peeves, blasting loud music while you're going through.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, you're being a total DB if that's the case. Turn it down. This one, they hate when you hand them their garbage. I bet you that happens more often than you think.
Really?
Like if they already have like a empty cup from Mickey D's and they're at a Wendy's, they'll be like, hey, can you toss this for me?
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty audacious.
Handing them your garbage. And this one that they don't like what you do finally here is checking your entire order at the window. But sometimes you got to. Because how pissed are you if you make it home and then you look and you realize that you're missing something?
And it's happened way too many times to not do it. Yeah, that's one. You try to be quick about it for sure. Yeah, I get it. But sorry, group. That one, I won't go with that one.
Yep. And if you want to completely ruin my husband's day, don't put something that he ordered in his to go. I have seen his day crumble because of that.
Just
because
like
he didn't
he
didn't have certain things that were in there. That were in there. So from fast food to exercising. Yeah, scientists at Washington University have developed the lazy pill. I'm just kidding. It's a SLUPP332 is what they call it.
She's not kidding. It's exactly what it is.
It is. So right now, that's semaglutide. There's so many other forms of it. Ozempic, whatever. This is latest.
Ozempic. Sorry.
It is
every
everywhere.
Time. Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's the latest craze. Even Oprah, listen, I'm on it. I have no shame in my game. She cut off ties with Weight Watchers.
Right, yeah.
Because she didn't want any conflict, and I get it. And she was saying that a conflict of interest because she was a Weight Watchers spokesperson forever. And now that she's talking about being on this pill or these shots, it looks bad for Weight Watchers. So she totally cut ties with them. And I get it. She was like, listen, I've had problems with my weight for years, and I'm going to do what's best for me. And if this is it, or if it's best for you to take these shots, do it. And a lot of people are having success.
But this is a little different. This isn't just necessarily a weight loss. This is something that can replace doing actual physical exercise.
Yeah, but I think I was kind of relating on where we're just getting all of these shortcuts.
Yep.
We're doing all these shortcuts, and people love a shortcut. So they have this new pill that offers the same benefits as exercise, including muscle growth and performance. The medicine can mimic the physical boost of a workout and potentially treat what they call the couch potato conditions like obesity. And they said that a lot of these things are age-related conditions that can also help, which this I'm totally for. Dementia, heart failure, declining kidney function, it can benefit this too. But they said that they've been doing decades of work on this pill with this compound named SLUPP332, which activates these specialized proteins known as ERRs, estrogen-related receptors, that are triggered by exercise. So it is a magic pill that the benefits of it mimic the enhanced effects of exercising.
Yeah, it'll help with muscle, atrophy, right? And people that have cancer or certain things like that it can really help benefit that. Somebody that doesn't, the elderly, as you mentioned there, somebody that can't do the physical activities, it can still mimic that and help retain some of their muscle mass, as well as, obviously, there's going to be lazy people that are going to take advantage of this as well.
But for the medical benefits, I totally appreciate. But,
sure.
Yeah. So they, of course, like everything else, they tested the pills out on mice and they found out that they got jacked. Just kidding. No, it increased the fatigue. Can you imagine a whole bunch of buff mice everywhere? But it found that it increased. That's how they walk, with their arms out.
Yeah, of course.
Because it can't shut them
They
down.
walk,
They're
they're
too
going to walk like a bulldog.
but they found it increased fatigue-resistant type of muscle fiber while improving the animal's endurance when they ran them on a little tiny mouse treadmill.
That's great.
They just kept on going. Yeah.
Look, I think once they figure out a way to brand this and market it better, obviously it's in the beginning stages. This is going to be huge. I mean, the advancements in science just in the past couple of years alone are changing lives visibly and mentally as well. I mean, people dropping significant amounts of weight, feeling better than they ever have before, despite the fact that, as Franny puts it, getting a flat butt. These.
There was a problem with pancake butt with Ozempic people.
Was there really?
That was one of the side effects they were calling it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're dropping the fat, right?
And you're not building muscle to keep a nice perky
So now
butt.
you get on the Ozempic, you drop the weight.
You take the
then
exercise pill.
you take the EER receptor pill, the estrogen receptor pill, and then you start getting jacked in the butt. So you get rid of
in the butt?
jacked in the butt.
Boy, did he just stopped in time
Again,
because he knew I was
I'm a
listening.
pro. I'm a pro.
He knew I was listening.
So you offset the flat butt by getting the other pill.
Well, can you take them at the same time? That's my question.
I don't know.
You drop the weight while you build the muscle. That would be the perfect thing to do
All
at the
while
same time.
sitting on your ass.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this as a fitness coach and fitness guru, Franny?
Listen, I appreciate the benefits of it. I see the other things that it can do, like they mentioned for just aging overall, dementia patients, cancer. I love that aspect. I am one who, if to each his own, but I think a little work should go into it.
Even the doctors in this study were saying, look, this should not replace regular exercise. You really should get, if you were able to, right? I mean, they're not trying to find a workaround that. They're trying to find a workaround to help people that can't exercise and that can give them those benefits. So, I mean, I understand why they're going down this road. But, of course, there's going to be drug companies that will take advantage of it as well and market it for people that don't want to work out.
I was watching Today's Show, right? That's Al Roker. He's the Today one, right?
Sure.
Not Good
Yes.
Morning.
Yes.
So, and they were talking about.
I don't listen to that show, Franny. I listen to Rover's Morning Glory here on Real Radio. Thank you very much.
Oh, do you? I actually listened to us as we are doing the show.
I'm trying to.
I actually listen to what we say on Jason and Franny in the morning on 98.7 The Gator.
Yeah, I don't listen to you.
I know you don't.
I tune you out.
Nobody does. But he was talking about
Did you say something, Jason? You hear something else around here? But Al Roker, another guy that lost a bunch of weight.
He did, but he did the gastric bypass.
Ton of weight, right?
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
That was years ago, or the lap band, one of those things.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be something, right? There's always going to be something which
cheat
is
code.
which is the easy way out. That you actually had to go under the knife for, and this is something different. But they're saying these pills are coming out in these shots, and now they do have them in pill form. That within the next couple of years, that they are just going to be over the counter at some point.
Really?
Which I can see happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, with the abundance of what they're called semaglutides, right? You think those are going to, obviously they came to the market first, so they're going to become over the counter before this. I mean, this is still in the research stage, this EER receptor thing, right?
I mean, but they've been researching this for years. So I think they're ready for it, obviously, right? FDA approved before it hits. Not everything is, but you would think before it hits the market or doctors are able, because I believe this is going to be prescribed.
Yeah. I would imagine
it would
in the
have to be,
beginning.
right?
But with the obesity problem that we have in this country and others too, I mean, obviously what happens in America, they're going to mimic in Europe at some point in time or throughout the world. And fast food restaurants have gone all over the world now. Obesity is a problem, and if this can help with it, I say okay. As long as it's healthy, if it is healthy, I understand that we should exercise, we should eat properly, but people aren't going to do that.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, the older I get, the less I want to work out. So I might be into this in a few years. I'm just saying.
It happens, and who was it? But Dr. Rich, who used to be Love Doctors here for years and years and years.
Eat less, move more.
Yep, that was his famous saying.
Less, move
Eat
more.
less, move more.
And then there's people like, I can look right at you, and I know that it's the same for you as it is for me. You work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, and you got to travel to work.
Yep.
When do you do it? Sometimes it's hard to fit into a schedule.
You got to make time.
You know what we got to do?
We should.
We got to get us.
True.
They have it, and they're so cheap on Amazon. We'll just get them for all the studios, they have those little tiny treadmills.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Where you sit in place and you're just like pedaling or
Well,
whatever.
You have to stand up.
Oh, yeah. I've seen these. Like you can sit.
They're like this big.
It's right here.
No handrails or anything. They just go and you just stand on it. It looks like a little tiny people mover, and you just walk away.
Think of a mini Jetsons, the walk that they used to take Astro out to walk.
Sure.
A mini version of that.
Huh. Interesting.
I know. And
I have seen the little.
Because you're
pedals.
a stander when we do our show.
Yeah, I usually stand. This is very awkward for me to sit, and
Yes.
I got this little screen here.
Yeah, right in front of your face. That's Real TV, realradio921.com.
Preferred if you stand up, we can look in the other eye.
Hey.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey.
So I do have some Florida stories coming your way. Plus, I know I'm going to have you tell this story because I have another story about John Taffer from Bar Rescue, but he's talking about red and green flags at places that he's been to. Okay. And what one thing on the menu, he calls it a test that the place is either going to be terrible or it's going to be amazing. And it's food. It's not a cocktail, even though he does Bar Rescue. So we have that coming your way after your Florida stories on Real Radio 92.1.
Be like the smart kids, like the summa cum laude of your workplace.
What?
Tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio.
Experience the best of the Palm Beaches cuisine in one amazing location. Experience the flavors of unlimited samples paired with exquisite wines and craft beers. Experience the fun of live entertainment and VIP perks. The Tastings Food, Wine, and Craft Beer event is back Saturday, April 13th at Tanger Outlets Palm Beach. Taste the Palm Beaches for only $40. Want to be a VIP and get in an hour early? VIP tickets are just $50. Get your tickets now at pbtastings.com. That's pbtastings.com.
Here's traffic on Real Radio.
95 and the Turnpike, both up to speed along the Palm Beaches. We are looking good on the afternoon drive. Boynton Beach, we have road work that has shut down Lawrence Road, north and southbound, from High Biloxo Road to Lantana Road, Military Trail, or Congress Avenue, your best alternates. That's traffic. I'm Jody Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, it's the Greek from Monroe's at Palm Beach, and this Thursday night, it's the international kickoff for the Palm Beach Boat Show. 7 to 10 in Legends Lounge. Monroe's is calling all captains, brokers, and employees to stop by for some beautiful ladies, great entertainment, and a great menu. An open bar from 7 to 10. It's Thursday night, March 21st. Make sure you stop in for Monroe's kickoff party for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Monroe's at Palm Beach, open 7 days a week till 5 a.m. Thursday night. Peace.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When I set out to build our firm, it was built for greatness. It was built for you. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Today, Morgan & Morgan has more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. If you or anyone in your family has been injured, call America's largest injury law firm. Call Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Spring is in the air, but so are airborne allergens like tree pollen, grass, mold, and ragweed. If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage springs into action quickly, helping you breathe more. And you don't need a never-ending cycle of decongestants that can leave you feeling drowsy. Navage is the fast and easy drug-free allergy solution that helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Get Navage today so you can get outdoors and enjoy your favorite springtime activities. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage. Breathe easy.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 original stations, like 24/7 comedy.
If they were really donut holes, the bag would be empty.
When you need to laugh, just open the free iHeartRadio app and search comedy.
Should we call someone? I'm like, no, that's his face.
iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
From the Gordon & Partners Weather Center. Have you been injured in a motor vehicle accident? Call 561-333-3333 or go to fortheinjured.com.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. A beautiful day ahead of us following that rain overnight and last night. We have temperatures that will rise into the low 70s. Some areas might not even get there, stopping in the upper 60s for highs. And then overnight tonight will be nice and cool, waking up to temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, unseasonably cool for this time of year.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Bonus savings on top brands and better sleep are all the buzz at Mattress Firm's Friends and Family sale. Hurry in to save up to $700 with your extra discount. You'll even get a free adjustable base on select beds. Plus, if you see a lower price, Mattress Firm will match it. Restrictions apply.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. You're listening to The Penthouse. Now back to The Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning into the Penthouse on Real Radio. This is Franny. Good afternoon to you, Jimmy.
Hello and good afternoon.
And if you're just tuning in, you may know the two of us, but you may be new to Jason. We have a special guest in the Penthouse this week. Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Hi.
I do mornings on 98.7 The Gator with
You.
Franny. So if you want to give us a click over when Rover goes to break, check us out in the morning. We rock out. We talk fun stuff. And she puts up with my BS.
I do. And now I have to do it for another 4 hours all week long. I'm just kidding.
She's not kidding at all. She's dead serious.
I am. No, I'm having a great time. And hopefully you are too. We so appreciate you tuning in. And speaking of great times, it's time for those crazy Florida stories.
Florida.
Florida.
Did you say Florida?
I'm from Florida.
WTF.
What the Florida?
So a team of trackers looking for the invasive Burmese python stumbled into something they weren't expecting. They actually got more than they bargained for when looking for a Burmese python because they found a pile of them in the marsh. In fact, the pile weighed about 500 pounds. In this latest discovery, they found 11 snakes.
Haven't you ever heard of a trouser snake?
I've read some things that they were like basically a snake orgy. I mean, I don't know what else. What else are they doing all together like that? They said that the mound itself was about 7 feet wide, and it was a bunch of tangled up pythons. That was a biologist Ian Bartoszewski was talking about it. He said, for 10 years, we've been catching, putting them down humanely. Said, unfortunately, when people ask, well, why do you have to euthanize them? They are invasive. You can't put them in zoos. Can't send them back to Asia. So this invasive species management doesn't end with rainbows and kittens, unfortunately. These suckers can grow up to almost 20 feet long. And I didn't realize that they have been an issue brought to Florida in the 1970s. So, yep, they've since multiplied, as we know, and are responsible for a 90% decline in state mammal population. 90%.
They're a problem.
That's insane.
You've seen the photos of them and gators, like massive gators going at it, and the python winning. Insane. There is a guy I follow on Instagram. He is absolutely hilarious, and he is on the search for the elusive 20-foot python in the Everglades. Guy's walking through the Everglades barefoot.
Who is he? Which is
Fishing Garrett.
Fishing Garrett, okay.
Hilarious, very funny. I love to follow him, and you should check him out. But he finds the pythons. He hasn't found that 20-footer yet.
Yep, and then we have a guy who now
That's
is...
stones, man.
I know,
Walking
why?
with no shoes on.
That could eat me. It could. And then we have a dude fighting for his life, and the reason why is because a Florida hunter mistook him for a turkey. I don't know how, but it did happen. The incident was a Sunday morning. The unidentified hunter told investigators that he saw 3 female turkeys on the road and was like, I'm going to follow those turkeys because they're going to lead me to the big bird. They're going to lead me to that male turkey. And what he thought was a male turkey, he saw it and he fired. That's when he heard someone scream and say, I've been shot. The victim was airlifted to the Daytona Beach Hospital with shotgun injuries to his head and torso. Said no charges were filed in connection with this incident. Yep. So I guess it's a pass if you mistake him for a turkey because you were hunting. Is that how that works?
Sure.
And then...
And yes, you were right. It was Dick Cheney.
Right?
I'm trying to figure out who he shot. I'm trying to figure out who he shot.
And I think
this is a while ago.
And he did it. Shot somebody in the face.
Senator, a fellow senator, something. They went out on a hunting trip.
Were they hunting turkey?
On February 11, 2006, Dick Cheney shot Harry Whittington, a 78-year-old Texas attorney, with a 20-gauge Perazzi shotgun while participating in a quail hunt on a ranch in Texas.
Now, do you mistaken him for a quail? Quails are very small. I don't know how that happened. We're like, what a good excuse if you just want to take somebody out.
Probably a Dan Quayle joke.
Yeah, right?
There too.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing.
And then a Florida
20
woman.
gauge. That's like buckshot.
A Florida woman is under arrest after 3 kids in her care, as young as 7. One was 8, 9 years old. They are recovering, and the reason why is because they got stoned out of their minds. The kids are like, hey, let's make unicorn milkshakes. And I guess in unicorn milkshakes, you put all kinds of candy in it. And they found some candy. They found some gummies. And these gummies were not your normal gummies. These were laced with THC. They were so stoned that they had to be treated at a medical center in the Keys. And of course, Mama admitted to having the drugs unsecured, and because of that, she is behind bars. Now, finally, here in your What the Florida, a prankster, and I'm pretty happy with the way that this county sheriff's office dealt with it. So there's a prankster that put a for sale sign on a Florida sheriff's car. So
I saw that.
That picture is so funny.
Yeah. But they are having so much fun with it. And they do these days. These sheriff's office, they post stuff on Facebook and they just have a good old time with their posts. But this culprit put a for sale sign on the police car that was sitting on the side of the road. So they took it to social media, the sheriff's department, and posted about their beautiful car. The post said, kind of disappointed in the minimal interest in this beautiful vehicle. They said, despite its high mileage and idling hours, this baby has lots of life left and plenty of stories to tell. This car has been through it all and keeps on going. They added, sure, the legroom in the back is minimal and the rear seats aren't all that comfortable, but real friends sit up front anyways. Just so you know, the car isn't actually for sale, and they had to point that out. I don't know if they found out who the prankster was that did that.
No, but they gave him great content.
They
that's
did.
for sure.
They did. Absolutely.
The headline that I saw said that you can't fool us. And then, of course, there was the for sale sign.
I love it. And that is your What the Florida. Now, I did tease that because we were talking about fast food workers and the exercise pill. So we're going to stay a little bit on the food talk during lunchtime. John Taffer. If you're not familiar with him, he does that show Bar Rescue.
Okay.
And he was talking about red and green flags. So when you're going to go to a bar, what you should look for.
Oh, all right.
And this guy's pretty much an expert. And I can throw it out there because
Tell the world,
I can throw it
Franny,
out
what's
there.
going on?
I don't know when it's going to be. That is something I'll have to tell you later on. But like a month or so ago, I was teasing that I was going to be on a reality show, and it's actually Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
So I filmed an episode of Bar Rescue, and it was such a cool experience. And John Taffer, like Gordon Ramsay, on camera is hard ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he goes in those kitchens and in the
Right.
bars, and he rips them a new one if he has to.
There's chicken breaking raw.
So I got to see that. I got to see the sweeter side of him behind the scenes.
Oh, really? Okay.
When talking, he came over and introduced himself to my girlfriend and I, and so nice. And
Again,
was just
similar to Gordon Ramsay.
very.
Yeah.
So we were the plants. We were like the secret shoppers that they planted into the bar,
Oh,
and we were
oh.
mic'd up
Okay.
to talk about what we saw in the bar, what was going wrong, what was going right. And he said, just get exaggerate a bit, because be a little bit larger than life, because it is for television.
Right, right.
So
Okay.
if you see something for food and you pick it up and it's dry, crack it or break it or crumble it in your hands. Like, do stuff that the camera can see. Don't just talk about it.
Okay.
So
All
he's telling us all this stuff and just very good. And the funny story with this is that I thought I was going to eat. I was so excited. I didn't have lunch. I didn't have anything. I was like, we're just going to eat all this food and I'm going to be really full, so I don't need to have dinner. So we get to the restaurant and they tell you exactly from what drinks to order to what food to order. And they say which person to do what. So I had to order this drink, and I had to order these two dishes. And she ordered. So from there to what seats we have to sit in. They tell you exactly.
So much for reality TV.
Yeah.
Huh?
Right.
So they tell you, but the restaurant, and they know because there's cameras everywhere.
Sure.
The lights are on, the music's off.
And that's the one thing. And my wife, we love
Yes.
Bar Rescue. We watch it all the time.
Yeah.
They have their own channel on
Yes.
LG channels or whatever. And so every time we come on, we're like, these people know.
Oh, yeah.
They see the cameras. They're not
100%.
hidden cameras. They're right there.
No, the
You-
camera guy's in my face.
I know there's a camera on me right now.
Yeah.
You know there's a camera on you. So it's not like they don't know. They just don't know what the secret shoppers
Yes,
are.
they don't know which one it is. So they
Okay.
do. They shut down the restaurant for a bit, and then when they get everybody out, their regular customers, then they bring in a wave of other people, and in those people is the ones who are the secret shoppers, hidden. There's normally two of them.
And that's where you are in
Yeah.
this particular case.
So it
Okay.
was cool, but the whole point was like I'm so excited. I'm gonna get to eat all this food, and 5 minutes after we order our food, he comes bum rushing in because they have cameras in the kitchen too.
Mhm.
And he just starts yelling at the kitchen. One of the items that we ordered, he's yelling at them, and he was just like, I can't believe you guys are going to serve this. He says the expiration date is January 2023. He said it's January 2024. And he's
Oh,
and
and
it's
this
like
is-
seafood.
And that's supposed to be part of the show, right?
Yes.
He's putting on a show.
Well, but it's legit.
Right.
The stuff in the kitchen, like what he sees is like, I am not going to let anybody eat anything that's coming out of this kitchen.
Right.
So he's in there and he's just yelling, and it's uncomfortable because he's good. He's good at yelling. And so he comes out and he comes up to my girlfriend and I, and he says, I'm not going to let you guys eat here. He was like, I will not allow it. So we went in there with nothing in our stomach and left with nothing in our stomach. and I get it. He was
So
doing us
you
a
didn't-
favor.
You didn't even end up doing your part.
No,
what you were
well, we-
supposed to be your part, or was
We
that
did.
was that part of it?
We did. We ordered.
used the wrong
We
word.
had two cocktails. The owner of the restaurant was buying us shots.
Mhm.
And he even made a comment about that. He was just like, do you find it weird that the manager owner was buying you shots? He was just like, like almost like they're making good for something
Sure.
when they know that their product isn't good. So here's some free stuff.
So let me just get this straight. Let me
Yes.
just make sure I recap properly. You're like you weigh like 60 pounds. You're 3'2".
Yeah.
You have had nothing to eat all
No.
day, and you are a secret shopper
Yes.
now for Bar Rescue.
Yes.
And all the bartender and the owner keep doing is plying you with alcohol. So
Yes.
you're empty stomach drunk
Yes.
by this point,
Yes.
right?
So I
you
was
picked up on that too.
But I was good about it. I had my one cocktail.
Uh-huh.
Which they had me order a mojito. I had that, and then the shot, it was lemon drops. I had one, and then the guy kept on buying more.
Okay.
So I let them sit on the table because in my head, I don't know if John Taffer wants us to take these shots.
Sure.
And not just that, I was almost uncomfortable with the first one. I also want to have my wits to me because I'm going to
course.
be on national television.
Right.
So I didn't take the other ones.
Okay.
They were just sitting on the table, but they were feeding us because even beforehand, my girlfriend was like, should we have a drink just to loosen up? I was like, no. I was like, I want to make sure that I'm good
Right.
for this. So it was a really interesting experience. It was, but
I didn't know you did this.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I thought I told you.
Maybe you did. And then
Nobody listens.
I pulled a Greek. I might have pulled a Greek. She say something.
Nobody listens. But John Taffer says specifically, if you go into a restaurant, he does a burger test. Now, you like burgers, right?
Yeah.
You burgers. You like burgers.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Too. So
I'm
his
a red-blooded American male. What do you think?
yeah. He says a burger can define a business.
I believe that.
Yeah. And he's like, is it a thin burger? Is it a thick burger? Is it a lousy bun? Is it a custom bun? What are the toppings they give you? What is the quality of meat? Is it fresh? Is it frozen? If it's frozen on a basic bun, that's going to tell you something. He said if it's nice and it's got a blend and it's custom bun, then that tells you something too. He says the burger is one item he looks for on a menu that will define that restaurant.
I mean, it's one of the most commonly ordered menu items, no matter whether it's fast food, whether it's a restaurant. So, I mean, you have to put out a good burger if you're going to have it on the menu.
And even gourmet chefs, that's something that they will do. Like Gordon Ramsay or those guys, they will make you that perfect burger, even though it's a basic food, as they say.
Well, and that's one of those, you go to a nice steakhouse, they're always going to have a burger on the menu.
Right.
I mean, it's just something. And then when it comes to drink, he says the other defining things is he says old fashions. He said that it needs to be muddled and made correctly in the glass. Did they drop the cherry on top or muddle it first like they're supposed to? He's like, these little things really define a restaurant. But he said, but to him, it's super hard to, you got to top the burger, and that's how you do it. So, Jimmy, you actually know of another reality show that's coming out.
Apparently, there's another one coming out. I know we've all heard of Mr. Beast, right? So apparently he has a new reality TV show coming out.
Now, for those who don't, Jimmy, he's a YouTuber, right? But he does a lot of philanthropical stuff and gives away money.
He is the YouTuber, right? I think he's got the most YouTube fans with like 245 million subscribers on YouTube. And so apparently he's created the biggest reality competition series is coming out in TV history. It's going to be for Prime Video, so I guess you got to have Prime. It's going to be called Beast Games, and it's inspired by his YouTube channel, of course. 1,000 contestants will compete for a $5 million prize. He wants to make this the absolute biggest reality competition in TV history, and that's the way he's going to do it because of the prize money, $5 million prize. He's also going to serve as the show's host, as you can imagine, right? He says, quote, "My goal is to make the greatest show possible and prove YouTubers and creators can succeed on their platforms. Amazon gave me the creative control I need to try and make it happen, and I hope to make the YouTube community proud." The only problem with this, there's no date release on it, and doesn't even really say what it is, like what the competition is going to be yet. So we don't know what that is yet, but it is coming out. And because I was going to ask the both of you, and you sort of gave a little bit away there. Are you like the reality TV fans? Of any of them? I mean, there's everything from the Kardashians
so many kinds,
to the loved ones and the Bachelor and Bachelorette and the Jersey Housewives.
If you
and all
consider
that stuff.
Bar Rescue a reality TV, then yeah, I'm a fan of that show. Outside of that, not personally.
Nope.
My wife loves 90 Day Fiance, so
Okay.
I will watch that with her, and I don't find myself hating it. It's tolerable. But other than that, man, it's got to be. I don't really watch too much TV. I listen to a lot of music and a lot of radio because I'm just a straight up nerd.
Yeah.
But it's got to be funny for me. It's these reality TV shows, man. They don't do it. I'll retract that a little bit. What is the one with Simon Cowell?
Like the American Idols and
Not
stuff?
the American Idol, the other
America's
one.
Got Talent.
America's Got Talent. Like
yes.
every once in a while, I'll see my wife watching AGT. I'll kind of sit down and watch that.
I like catching like some of the better ones where they either it's a blooper one or it's like a really really good singer or something like that. But I don't watch the show itself. The only other one that I really sort of got into, if you want to call it that, is Hell's Kitchen because again I'm a Gordon Ramsay fan. But again, to me, any show that has cutaways. That's not reality, right? I mean, that's not happening as it is. Like those cutaways have to be done after whatever they're talking about in a cutaway it happened, right? So that always kind of made me feel a little funky. One that I just started watching with Carla, and it's a week-to-week one now, so we're kind of caught up where we have to wait for it. We can't binge it. Is Traders. Have you ever heard of that one?
I have not.
It's a pretty neat game that they do, and that's why I like it. And again, it has the cutaway side of it, but I don't know if you really want to call it reality TV. It's a game, and it's what I kind of picture what Mr. Beast is going to do here. And basically what they do is they start out with 20 people, and the producers of the show, there's a host, and the host, all the people sit around this one table, and they're all blindfolded, and they choose 3 people, and they are the traitors, and then the rest of them are faithfuls. And what they do is try to figure out who the traitors are, right?
Okay.
Including the traitors themselves. They play along because they don't want to be found out.
Okay.
And then whoever ends up, I guess they get down to a certain amount of traitors or a certain amount of faithfuls at the end. When they get to a certain point of it, and I don't want to get into the whole minutia of it. It would take a long time to describe it, but they do it for money, right?
Sure,
You know, and they try to figure out who's who, basically. But it's a pretty neat one because you kind of get to play along and see how they do that and try to maneuver while they're being a traitor. And then, of course, they do little, like to make the show the 1 hour long, like they do contests and things like that in order to build up a big pot of money, which is what they're all going for. It's a pretty neat one to look at.
It reminds me,
it's on Peacock.
It's not even the concept is slightly similar, but it reminds me of Squid Game a little bit.
I never watched that.
Yeah,
I never watched
neither
that
have
series,
I.
and they turned it to a reality.
They turned it into
series.
a reality series, which was pretty good too. So I mean, I guess technically, yeah, that's what I've watched, and it's fun. I mean, the series, the original series on Netflix, and the reality version of it, not bad.
And I'm those talent based. My husband and I sit down and we do the AGT and we do The Voice and we do America's Got Talent. That's about it. But back in the day, oddly enough, I was really into car shows. So I would watch Fast and Loud religiously, Street Outlaws.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Who
love
are
Gas
you?
Monkey. I know. I
How
did.
about that? That's cool.
I would just love to watch and see what they do with these vehicles. And the Street Outlaws, remember that one? That's the street racing shows, which I think Street Outlaws is still on. I don't know if Fast and Loud is still on. But other than that, I am not Real Housewives, Kardashian kind of thing. I did, and it's because they're just so brutally honest. It is, my girlfriend's got me into it, and there was only 2 seasons of it so far, but it's Love on the Spectrum.
All right, so I don't consider that a reality show.
But it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Love on a
All
Spectrum.
right, yeah. So I've seen, I've watched those. I've watched those shows.
Yes. So
Yeah, and
it's about people on the autism spectrum who are going out on dating for the first time as adults in their lives.
Okay. All
And
right.
so they get set up, a lot of them do, and sometimes and it's just fun because you don't meet people. It's a little refreshing and a little odd at the same time because they're just so honest in what they say.
I see that as more of a docu-series than
Do
a
you?
reality show. And Jim, it's a really, really good show.
Yeah.
It really is. I
Okay.
mean, it kind of gives you a peek behind the curtain of something that we're not necessarily intimately familiar with,
Yes.
or we're kind of foreign of or ignorant of. We don't know what it's like to be autistic, whether it's severely autistic or whatever.
And they call it a spectrum for a reason
Yes.
because
Right.
it is so wide. So I mean,
and you can watch on that show all the different people they have on there, just how different they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
right,
When it
right.
comes to their
And
autism.
there's
what I
other things
picture.
I've learned about autism specifically because of the show, that women don't get diagnosed until later in life because they don't show the symptoms that they typically look for in when defining autism on the spectrum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy in his 60s on the
I
show.
love him so much.
Me
He's
too,
such a sweetheart.
Who got diagnosed later in life too, and the same thing. But a lot of these, sometimes you realize, like, yes, they definitely are autistic. Sometimes you wouldn't even know.
Right. And this guy, by the way, side note, has a set of pipes on him. Like
really?
he's got like, I don't want to call him the voice of God or
He
anything like that,
does,
but
he
he's got and his diction is fantastic, and he's just such a nice guy. You can't help but want to root for these people,
Yep.
and it's very eye-opening. And a lot of them, I think the first season was filmed in New Zealand, or parts or certain people of it were filmed
Yes.
in New Zealand and Australia. The second season, they brought it into the States here. And it's very interesting, and it's
It
a
is.
very
When I
fun
told you,
watch.
I watched it and I finished. It was on a weekend. I finished 2 seasons in one day. Because there's only 5 episodes,
Sure.
5 episodes each season.
Oh, okay.
But it had me hooked.
That one girl who's obsessed with anime, though, she drives me bonkers.
It is good.
There's
but
always going to be at least the one.
I mean, I don't want to give
Always the one.
no spoilers
I
or
recommend
anything
it.
like
I
that.
do
It's-
recommend
It
it.
really is a great
Yeah.
show, but she's dating this guy, and she wants to
Teach him how to make
She
out?
wants to teach him how to kiss. And so, what was it? Was it an apple or was it a
no,
strawberry?
she used a cupcake.
It was a cupcake. That's what
she
it
used
was.
a cupcake to teach him how to make out.
So she tapes it on another date, and she's like, "Oh, I got his cupcakes," and he's like, "Oh, cool, great." And he just bites into
He
it.
wants to eat it. And she's like, no.
She's like, no. Enjoy the cupcake.
Yeah, basically
Lick
make
the cupcake.
love to the
And-
cupcake.
oh my God, it's a really good show.
It is.
Love on the Spectrum.
Yes.
If you got some time, give it a watch. It really is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wants to eat it.
Oh, now we're gonna have Jason on.
That's
He
how
said,
they.
she
No,
said.
that was you.
Oh, damn it! I always say things I don't realize it. We were talking about Taffer,
124.
John Taffer, talking about the burger test. He knows when a place is going to be good if it has a solid burger. We got a text at 47142, and they agree. They say a burger and the cleanliness of a bathroom are the two biggest barometers when it comes to any restaurant.
We were talking about this on the Gator Morning Show a couple weeks ago. And there was a guy that used to be an inspector for the FDA and the USDA, and he said the first thing before I even sit down, before I even look at the menu, before I even engage the hostess to find out if I'm going to sit down, I go right to the bathroom. And he's like, if you go in there and you find that it's clean and you are comfortable using it, then your experience is going to be good. It is a good indicator as to what the kitchen is going to be treated like. But if you go in there, there's poo specks and there's smells and there's all these other things.
You're like, what's a kitchen look like?
The kitchen's probably going to be in the same shape.
Poo specks?
So,
Yeah?
poo
All right.
specks. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I worked in the industry for a long time.
I
The
know.
restaurant industry, it wouldn't surprise me if there's poo specks back there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
You know.
either. I do, all too well. But we have some more things we got to get into. In fact, I got a place you can go to if you feel like you just need a really good cry. Just a really good cry. Guys and girls, you may have a
Okay.
spot you have to go to. Plus, we have a ding dong ditch gone wrong, Jimmy.
Oh, jeez.
A trifecta. And I want to play this with Jason. I know you have a little game for us. Songs that make us think of the movie or TV show. You're going to play the song, and we're going to see if we can name that movie or TV show.
Excellent.
And you
Okay.
play along with us when we come back on Real Radio 92.1.
Real radio is the news junkie.
They're trying to get rid of hotel bathtubs, and I just can't stand for it.
You know what? I'm glad I didn't take your side.
Sealand, you've used a hotel bathtub before. I've seen it. Wait.
The News Junkie. Weekday afternoons at 3 on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Getting you up to speed on traffic on Real Radio.
Construction has shut down Lawrence Road north and south between Hypaluxo Road and Lantana Road. Military or Congress, your best alternates there. Downtown West Palm Beach, Flagler Drive shut down for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Flagler Drive closed between Lakeview Avenue and Banyan. Use Quadrille instead. That's traffic on Jody Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
Hey there, car owners. It's Franny. Head over to GiveMeTheVin.com for an instant cash offer in just 60 seconds. They buy all makes and models from $2,000 to $200,000. And if they can't beat your CarMax offer, they'll throw in an extra $100. They offer a 60-second bid process, pressure-free service, and free pickup. With a 5-star rating from the Better Business Bureau, they've got your back. Don't wait. Now's the time to sell with GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Weezer, Indie Rock Road Trip. Coming your way, Saturday, September 21st, Hard Rock Live. Weezer, live, with special guests, The Flaming Lips and Dinosaur Jr. On sale now at myhrl.com. Weezer, don't miss out.
Hey, it's Greg from Monroe's of Palm Beach, and this Thursday night, it's the international kickoff for the Palm Beach Boat Show. 7 to 10 in Legends Lounge. Monroe's is calling all captains, brokers, and employees to stop by for some beautiful ladies, great entertainment, and a great menu. An open bar from 7 to 10. It's Thursday night, March 21st. Make sure you stop in for Monroe's kickoff party for the Palm Beach International Boat Show. Monroe's of Palm Beach, open 7 days a week till 5 a.m. Thursday night. Peace.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 561-390-1000. That's 561-390-1000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways children of all ages can learn about sustainability and the environment at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth. iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. When dining out or shopping at the grocery store, ask for sustainable seafood. By choosing sustainable seafood, you can help reduce overfishing, bycatch, loss of top predators, illegal fishing, and other harmful environmental impacts. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Business. It's not a 9-to-5 proposition. It's all day and into the night. It's all the things that keep this world turning. And behind every one of these businesses is a partner like Comcast Business helping to keep it all moving. It's why the local flower shop and your favorite pizza joint, the startup and the stadium, hospitals and hotels, banks and restaurants nationwide. All these businesses choose the advanced network, cybersecurity solutions, and round-the-clock trusted partnership from Comcast Business. From Main Street to Wall Street, our people are powering the businesses that power it all. So when you're ready to unlock what's possible for your business, there's no one better to answer the call. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Call or visit ComcastBusiness.com to learn more.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire the largest injury firm in the world for your injury case? Lots of people hired us. We've collected over $15 billion and won a lot. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
News Junkie is sponsored by FAMU's Mary. Educate, learn, talk.
Imagine a world where animals and humans coexist in harmony, where wild animals thrive, habitats are protected, and marginalized communities are empowered. At International Animal Rescue, this is our vision. Our holistic, community-led projects not only rescue animals, but also protect and replenish precious habitats, creating a better future for us all. But we can't do this without you. Show your support now and help keep the wild wild. Visit internationalanimalrescue.org.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Real Radio weather.
I'm CBS 12 meteorologist Charlotte Carl. A beautiful day ahead of us following that rain overnight and last night. We have temperatures that will rise into the low 70s. Some areas might not even get there, stopping in the upper 60s for highs. And then overnight tonight will be nice and cool, waking up to temperatures in the upper 50s, low 60s, unseasonably cool for this time of year.
This report is sponsored by Verdict with Ted Cruz Podcast.
I'm Ben Ferguson.
And I'm Ted Cruz. Biden gave an angry, bitter State of the Union.
And Senator Katie Britt gave the response.
And the media went nuts attacking her. Katie joins us on the pod for the inside story.
So now a Verdict with Ted Cruz now to hear all the details.
NFL Total Access, the podcast, is getting you ready for the NFL Draft. I'm your host, Andrew Levy, and I'll be delivering 2 shows a week to make sure you're caught up on the latest NFL news, every free agency move, and how it changes the draft needs of your NFL team. Draft experts, talent scouts, mock drafts, and shock drafts too. NFL Total Access, the podcast, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Presented by T-Mobile for Business. Now is the time for 5G business.
Greek's Trifecta is sponsored by the physicians at MMJ Health.
This is Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7. Real talk for the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast.
You miss me.
You're listening to the Penthouse. Now back to the Penthouse on Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Yes, thank you for making it through almost an entire Penthouse with the crew. We so appreciate you. 92.1, 101.7, or of course the absolutely free iHeart Radio app. This is Franny. Good afternoon, Jimothy.
Hello and good afternoon.
And we have Jason with us. Hi, Jason.
Hi, my name's Jason.
Hi,
I do
Jason.
a morning show with Franny on 98.7 The Gator, and we have such a good time that I had to spill it on over to Real Radio.
We had to keep the good times rolling. If you're like, where's G-Man? I'm just tuning in. Greek is on vacation. He much deserves spending some time with Mama, but we will have him back in the Penthouse next week. Until then,
Franny, come on.
yeah, we'll still have little pieces of him here and there. We got to do a misspeak on a Friday. I mean, we just have to. And of course, we still have to do a trifecta, and Jimmy has that covered.
Riders up. It's Greek's Trifecta.
By the way, you just called me Jimothy there. I think that's the first time I've been called that since Johnny left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a Johnny nickname.
Brett from Melbourne always calls you Jimothy on the text line, too.
Yeah, some of the listeners still do because it kind of stuck with them. But anyway, so yeah, let's get into a Greek's Trifecta. And we're going to start out in San Francisco, where they found out recently that, you got to have a good accountant because if you don't, it could end up in a penalty. The Niners have to give up their original 5th-round choice in 2025 draft, and their 2024 4th-round selection is going to move from 131 to 135. Why, do you ask? Because they didn't report their team's cumulative player compensation correctly. That's right, the 49ers got pinched for that, but
They were over their cap, yeah?
Yep. Actually, no.
No?
They did stay under the cap, which is part of the reason why the punishment wasn't as severe.
Okay,
but
got it.
They did misreport the amount of the salaries, and that's where their punishment came in. So because of the fact that they didn't feel that it was intentional, that's why. I mean, if you really think about it, the penalty isn't all that bad.
Sure.
Probably could have been millions of dollars in fines had they gone over the cap and that type of thing. But wasn't that big of a deal, but still sort of a big deal when you're moving draft picks around. And, that means different players. So, by the way, speaking of players and speaking of good teams, how about the Florida Panthers? They are just killing it again this year. They're only 1 point out of first place behind Boston, so they can easily get on top of them. Next up, they take Nashville on Thursday night at Amerant Bank Arena. So let's keep an eye on the Cats and see how they finish out the season.
Celebrating 30 years as a team, and they are blowing up my feed with all the new gear they got coming out. They're like, they are trying to get my money hard, man.
You do a good turkey. I do a pretty good panther. I do. I'm just letting you know.
Huh?
I do. I said you do a good turkey.
I know. That my was, I want to hear you do this.
Well, we have it. The pre-recorded one is much better.
Oh, I want it live.
It's like a one and done kind of situation.
Got it.
Row, row.
There it is.
Good. It's better than if I ever try to do it live again.
My God, that is too funny.
Yeah, it's
Vamos
wow.
Gatos.
Finally, in your trifecta for the day, the Miami Dolphins signed quarterback Kendall Fuller, so he will be another good addition. They signed him to a 2-year deal 2 days after adding safety Jordan Poyer. Got him from the Bills, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Fuller, who won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs alongside current Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill, is obviously the big pickup for this offseason so far. So we'll see what the Dolphins do in the draft as well coming up.
Well, I mean, I'm sad to see Wilkins go. Sad to see. Honestly, the one that upset me the most was seeing Andrew Van Ginkel go, because that dude plays with heart.
Yep.
And he plays good, and he is a badass. And I'm upset to see him go. But the other moves they've made, I'm fine with. I'm happy with. Yeah.
So far, so good. Yeah, I was with you on the Van Ginkel one when I saw him go, because, I mean, there's a kid that just gives 800% on every single play. Doesn't matter. And he is always near the ball. I was kind of surprised that they let him go. But, we were talking a little bit off air, and it's kind of half a joke, but because my wife called him Sven.
Yeah.
Because he's got that blonde hair, and he kind of has that Viking look to him, right?
That's where he went, right?
Where'd he go? To the Vikings.
Perfect fit for him. Perfect fit for him.
And that is your last trifecta of the day.
Thank you, Jimmy. Well, maybe because Van Ginkel is no longer with the Miami Dolphins, you may need to shed a tear or two, and you can now because they have...
Can I just say bravo? That was an amazing segue, Franny. A very good segue.
Much.
Very good.
Sometimes I'm a professional. They have pop-up cry spas. And of course, the first place to have these, like most places, is New York City. Right? They're pretty progressive when it comes to stuff like that. But I love this. There's one girl in general who's talking about how much she loves this, and she thinks if crying were a superpower, she would be saving the world right now because she is a bit of a crier. She said her nickname, they either call her Battle Baller or Honey Boo Hoo. She says, she's like, I am a crybaby. She's like, I'm not a whiner. I'm not a drama queen or a spoiled brat. I'm just very emotional. She weeps at weddings. She says her eyes water rewatching episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She said specifically when Will's dad leaves him high and dry. She doesn't like that one. But she was just like, you know what? This is a great idea. We should do pop-up cry spas, and that's it. It's called Sob Parlor, and they recently hosted an event. But I love it. She said that it's kind of cathartic. That's the concept of it. These whale sessions to just let people be teary. Now, teary, we have what are the rage rooms? People go there to release their rage.
I get it.
So why not cry? And no guy is going to say they're going there if they actually go there. This is going to be a chick thing is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you really need to spend money to go cry somewhere?
$20.
I'll take your $20. Come cry in my studio all day. I got no problem with that.
No crying in baseball.
$20 to have an emotional release. You can book a 30-minute appointment in these private cry rooms. And
it's a private cry room.
Yes, it's private. You cry by yourself. You don't want to cry in front of people. Where they're welcome to
get in a closet.
Come sob on your lunch break. And then go right back to work. But that's what I'm saying. You can just charge people $20 to go into one of these rooms and start crying if they need to. I'm sure there's a lot of tears that might want to happen here.
There's a sucker born every day.
There truly is. But it works. People utilize these things.
It's something that you can do for free.
It's very
right
true.
now.
It's
you
very
literally
true.
go into a closet. Here we have plenty of studios in which you can use. You can go into any stall and any bathroom and cry it out if you really want to. You don't need to spend $20 to go to a specific location. Now, the rage room I get.
Yes.
Right? Because they're providing you with things to destroy.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't want to destroy your own stuff.
That comes at a cost.
Safety equipment.
I get that. The cry room, stupid.
Yep. So Jason's never going to be at the Sob Parlor.
Oh, wow.
He said a lot of those people dealing with stress at work. And sometimes you just want to get the hell out of that building. You don't want to release your emotion and your tears at the place that you
May I
work
make another
at.
suggestion?
What's that?
Your car.
All right. Well, you got a lot of suggestions.
My studio's open. I cry in here every day.
In this one or in the production one? Because I can see you. This is like a fish tank where we see you. So speaking of crying, this guy might be because he's behind bars after what he did to some kiddos from a ding-dong ditch. Right?
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy, Jimmy.
I tell you what.
And we highly recommend. Don't do it. As a kid, it was a different story when we would, but nowadays
It was stupid then.
It was. But now, like, you're gonna get shot.
You are absolutely going to get
Yes.
shot, especially here in Florida.
Yep.
And that's the thing. That's what I thought was happening on this because apparently, the headline was that there was some sort of firearm involved with this one. Thank God when you find out it wasn't all that bad. A man who was fed up with people ding-dong ditching his home is now facing 6 counts of aggravated assault, so he's still in a lot of trouble. 71-year-old Michael Roberts walked out of his house onto the porch and began firing a gun at a car full of teenagers. It was a paint gun, so
Okay.
I'll get
So
that
paintball
out.
gun, got it.
Yeah. When officers arrived, they talked to the 6 teenagers who said a man across the street fired at them. Officers then talked to the suspect who reportedly told them for weeks juveniles have been coming to his house on the weekends and have been doorbell ditching his residence. Officers asked if he fired anything, and Roberts reportedly said he had come out onto his porch and fired a paintball-like gun across the street. And they did find a plastic ball in the roadway, so it all matched
There's the
up and
evidence.
everything, right?
Yes.
So, again, it wasn't at least a real firearm, bullets, and things like that, but still not very good. They could have injured. Matter of fact, I think they put a couple dents into one car that the kids were driving. So
They're asking for it.
Yeah, well, the thing about it, though, is the guy, Michael Roberts, had called police and reported this, and the police were out there and they were watching. They were waiting to see when the kids were doing it, and the guy didn't give him a chance really to fulfill that out.
He was
so.
just a little
What's the
impatient
point of
there.
calling the cops if you're going to handle it, right?
Yeah, so unfortunately, he's going to end up with some charges here. And, again, nobody got hurt, seriously hurt, or nobody was hurt really at all. But, and it could have been worse. But, Franny makes a good point. I mean, you do that kind of thing nowadays, and somebody's going to come out with a shotgun. And
Gotta be
unfortunately,
careful.
it can be a lot worse.
You do. We have a couple texts at 47142. I've never heard of this broadcasting school. I wonder if they mean something else. But they said the Cry Room will be a hit at the Columbia School of Broadcasting. Now, I wonder if they meant to say the Connecticut School of Broadcasting instead of Columbia.
Yeah,
Unless
which
you're familiar.
that's not even their name anymore, but that's okay.
yeah.
It's like Connecticut Media School or something like
Is
that.
it?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
did they
something like
change?
that,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's like CSB, Connecticut Media School or something like
Okay,
that.
all right. And then we said Frannis, which is a dear name I have on the show. Our dear friend Jimmy has many names: Jim, Jimmy, Jimothy, and for formal use, Jimberly. I've never heard Jimberly before.
Jimberly?
I like it.
I love it.
Am I the only one that calls you Jimbo?
No, I mean that's very common for somebody named
figured,
Jim or
yeah.
Jimmy. Yeah, Jimbo is common. I call other Jims Jimbo.
Right.
So
At
been around.
47142, that's how you can participate. And you can participate with us or just use your ears and play along in your car or at work with us. Jimmy has some songs that make us think of movie or TV shows, and we're going to see.
Can I play something for Jason too? Before that, now another way that you can interact with the shows, if you got the latest iHeartRadio app on your phone, go there, search for Real Radio 921, and then when you see in the middle of the screen there, what you see? It's a little microphone. You leave, you can press that, and you can leave a talk back like this one that was left for Jason.
Hey, this is Granny. Now the Greeks on vacation. Jason, why don't you come over tonight and tickle my Cleveland tailpipe? Honey?
Is that an inside Cleveland joke?
No, it's
Anything
not.
like a Cleveland steamer?
I've heard Granny a handful of times.
Yes.
And 9 times out of 10, it's a swing and a miss. That was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
There was actually, you guys know what a Cleveland steamer is, yes?
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
going to get into the graphic details of it, but when I was working in Cleveland and there was an advertiser, it was a steam cleaning company, and they were called the Cleveland Steamer. And they had the best jingle. It was fantastic. I'll see if I can dig it up for you. The spot was very well produced.
When you have stuff like you got to utilize that, right?
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
Cleveland, and like one of my favorite towing companies is a Camel Towing Company.
Camel
That we have
Towing.
here. One of my favorite.
Yep.
Yeah.
All kinds. That's great stuff. Well, speaking of songs, there with the jingle there, I do have a list of songs that often make you think of a movie or a television show, and I'm going to play some, and you tell me what movie or TV show comes to mind when you hear it, and we could have different answers, right?
Is it first in, or are we like?
It's not really a game. It's just more. It wasn't like a contest.
Buzz it if you want.
We can
All right.
sort of if you want. All right. So, what do you think of when you hear this?
It's Top Gun.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Danger Zone, Top
Yes.
Gun. That's a very common one, but along the same lines. How about this one?
Oh, Top Gun.
Right? same thing, right? For
hold on a second.
For some
you're right.
people,
Yeah,
they'll
you're
think
right.
Top Gun.
Top
'cause
Gun.
That's what I would think of.
Uh-huh.
Of course, the scene,
The bar
there with
scene.
Anthony Edwards there, right? How about you? Does
No,
another song come
Danger
to mind?
Zone, man, all the way.
But isn't there a movie, Great Balls of Fire?
Yes, there's
yeah.
another,
there's
well,
a film.
there's the movie itself, right? But
Yeah.
we're not, because not even I'm old enough to really think
About
of that movie.
Dennis Quaid played Jerry
with
Lee
it.
Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. I automatically went to Top Gun.
Okay, how about this one? This is actually one of Greek's favorite shows.
Oh, Golden Girls. Wait, is it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Being a friend. Okay,
Yeah,
it took a second.
Pretty much, right? First one you think of is when you hear that. And that was one that, again, back in my naive days, which is like yesterday, I always thought that song was made for them.
Oh,
like,
okay.
it was made for these TV shows.
Right.
A lot of times, they're just ones that they
They're just
grab.
getting the
Isn't it
licensing,
crazy that they were like our age when they were on that show?
Yeah, 40 back then versus 40 now
It's
are very different.
crazy.
It
It's
sure feels like it,
crazy.
right?
Yes.
How about this one? Now, this will probably mean the same for most of us, but it might mean something different for somebody else out there. How about
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, rock. 9, 10,
really? I'm getting blank face.
Well, I know the song.
I know the song, yeah.
But I don't.
No, really?
No.
Oh boy, am I the old one here? I guess.
What is it?
Happy Days.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, I never got into Happy
Now,
Days.
when I also was looking this up too, as far as other American Graffiti, apparently it's
Okay.
kind
Sure.
of known for
Sure.
that movie as well. But yeah, there's a couple there. How about this one?
Well, I know it's Queen.
Queen.
Right off the bat.
Wayne World.
Oh, Wayne's World. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
Took a
thought
second.
I thought Franny would get that one
Yeah.
because I thought you were a Wayne's World
Yep.
fan.
I could see them in the car driving down Illinois. Yeah.
Can.
Here's a classic.
Oh,
Cocktail.
it's the one
Oh
where.
no, Risky Business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there
it.
you
I was
go.
thinking,
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Cruise.
Yes.
Right
Shirt,
after.
yeah.
Wrong
Yes,
movie,
Risky
but there you
Business.
go.
He's in the shirt and the socks and the sunglasses.
I've never
Yep.
seen the movie, but I know the
No?
scene.
Really? You never
Yeah.
seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. That was one of my, it might hold up.
I haven't seen it.
Nowadays?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've
Early
seen it.
90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ferris
Bueller's
Bueller.
Day Off.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Right.
All right, one more.
Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're just knocking them out now. My favorite.
Uh-oh. Caddyshack.
Yeah. Porky's?
Oh, no, Vacation.
You're close. Yeah.
Vacation.
Vacation. Yeah.
Any of the vacations
Yeah.
they used it at some
Yes.
point.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, now this one might be a little bit sugarier. We'll see.
Johnny Be Good.
You know the song? Is there a movie that comes to mind with this one? And I'll
Back
say
to the
movie.
Future?
There you go.
Yeah.
Back to the
All right.
Future when Marty goes back
Yeah.
in time and
Yep.
he plays this and who's he gets on the phone? He goes, Johnny, listen to this.
Oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, it changes. It's the life changing. I can't
Yep.
remember who's talking. Yeah, I know the scene.
Yep. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And we got another one.
Right.
Caddyshack.
There you go.
Yeah.
You just said it.
I did.
Yep. And how about this one?
It's not Dukes of Hazzard?
No, Smokey the Bandit.
There you go.
Okay.
Yes. I was wondering if our Burt Reynolds
Yes.
local Jupiter would get to
Yes.
that. And the last one that I have, and here you go. I swear I've had this bit saved up for a little while, but because it's even that much more special because you're here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's the Love Doctors.
The Love Doctors,
Green
of course.
onions.
Yeah, because it's anytime I hear this come on to a television commercial, anything, it is just embedded in my
It
head.
is.
I don't
It
think
is.
of anything else.
And it's a localism. It's only people from the Palm Beaches
Yep.
and Treasure
Sure.
Coast that know the Love Doctors. Everybody else, it's like, oh, yeah, it's just a song.
It's
But
just-
here,
yep.
to
No,
us, I mean,
it means something.
and to call out that lazy old man, Dr. Rich, he would let that entire song play before he'd start the damn show. He literally would start the
Just
show on
getting
the
ready.
last beat of the show.
That's right.
On the last beat of the song.
I love it. That does bring back memories. I have a buddy named Rob Anrith, and he's an amazing guitarist, and he plays with a band, the Happiness Club, but he does stuff by himself, and I probably just destroyed his last name. But every time I see him and he's playing solo and I'm somewhere, he always kicks off because of Real Radio and seeing me there. He always kicks off with Green Onions.
That's cool. Such a
is.
good song.
It's very, very cool. Well, hopefully you got. We did pretty good.
And check out Mo Onions. It's another song from Booker T and the MGs. Has a very similar sound. It's a very similar vibe. It's really cool. That whole album, Green Onion's fantastic.
There you go. Well, that is our time. Hopefully you guys had fun playing along with us. I think Jason and I kind of kicked ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think
got
we did
every one of them right.
Very well. But yeah, we so appreciate you tuning in. And I want to give you one more heads up. Well, at least for today, tastings, unlimited food, wine, craft beer happening at the Tanger Outlets April 13th. Get your tickets, all the information at pbtastings.com. Jimmy, thank you so much for everything. That was fun.
Thank you very much,
today.
Francis.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Jason. Always a pleasure working with both of you.
Yes, Jason. I'll see you in the morning. How about that?
Yes.
Maybe again.
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
98.7 The Gator, y'all.
There you go. And of course, thank you so much for tuning in. And make sure you're tuned in. You're going to get a little bit more Penthouse, maybe some Greek in your life for the next hour.
Yep.
And then you got the News Junkie coming your way, Rover's Morning Glory. And then where the Penthouse is back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll see you around. Adios, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Cult Club. Exactly. Real Radio 92.1 and 101.7.
Experience the best of the Palm Beaches cuisine in one amazing location. Experience the flavors of unlimited samples paired with exquisite wines and craft beers. Experience the fun of live entertainment and VIP perks. The Tastings Food, Wine, and Craft Beer event is back Saturday, April 13th at Tanger Outlets Palm Beach. Taste the Palm Beaches for only $40. Want to be a VIP and get in an hour early? VIP tickets are just $50. Get your tickets now at pbtastings.com. That's pbtastings.com.
Let's see what's up with traffic on Real Radio.
95 in Boca Raton, our busy spot. It's a broken down tractor trailer. It's taking up 2 left lanes, causing big delays. 95 north, before Palmetto Park Road. Stop and go from Southwest 10th Street. That's traffic. I'm Judy Stewart.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber.
HOA and condo board members, it pays to have fiber. Let Blue Stream Fiber show you how fiber internet provides revenue for communities while saving up to 50% off retail rates. Visit bluestreamfiber.com/radio to find out more.
Hey, it's the Greek for Jason Weiser, my attorney. Whether you were injured due to a car accident or a medical malpractice issue, a slip and fall, or any kind of injury due to a fault of another, their team can help you. Board-certified personal injury attorneys. They can help you determine the responsibility party and pursue the damages and justice you deserve. Contact them at 561-689-8180, 561-689-8180. No fees unless they win. Jason Weiser, my attorney for over 20 years.
If you're looking for the yard of your dreams, look no further than Moon Valley Nurseries. America's largest box tree grower is now open in Riviera Beach. Here you'll find a wide assortment of mature trees